brain. We'll go reverse in our plans, then return to understand how we got here stranded like the fall of man. Stop back sliding, you've got to wait. Don't you hear me? I'm sounding all around. Don't touch that door. Don't you know you'll break me all over and over again. Watch me drown, saw me die. No remorse, not a drop in eye. With the still right pose and a frozen mind. You stop believing, it stops my breathing. I can suffocate at the sound of by. Stop back sliding, you've got to wait. Don't you hear me? I'm sounding all out. Don't touch that door. Don't you know you'll break me all over and over again. Stop back sliding, you've got to wait. Don't you hear me? I'm sounding all out. Don't touch that door. Don't you know you'll break me all over and over again. Stop back sliding, you've got to wait. Don't you hear me? I'm sounding all out. Don't touch that door. Don't you know you'll break me all over and over again. I'm going eastbound.
Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy HMK. It is your boy Killacoot, and we are here with the Vtuber special, part 3 of the series that is dedicated to hyping up the Nintendo Switch 2. And we have a lot of new blood, a lot of Vtuber homies to talk about the ideas, the hype, all things incoming when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2, the games, the Direct, and more. And now let's introduce a new set of members into the fifth dimension, a new set of friends, starting off.
I'm just gonna stick where I am.
No, but it was seriously, like, it was large, wasn't it? Like, actively.
Yeah. My jaw still hurts when I think about it.
Seriously? Again?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what did I walk into?
Isn't that kind of great, though, how big it was?
What a weird shape.
It's
I
memorable.
know it was, like, curled. I don't know how that
Wait,
worked.
did it curl to the left or the right, though? I can't remember.
I think it was
It was the
kind of
left.
like, it did, like, a wiggle
It was
kind
the
of
left.
thing in a way.
Guys, I don't know
so
what I
fast,
walked
I
into.
cannot tell.
Like, it curled left and then right?
Yeah, and it was like, what,
Yeah.
13, 14?
I think so, yeah.
very.
Oh, hey, man, what's going on?
Oh, what's up? Hey,
Like, how you doing?
Really good.
Sorry,
Good.
did we interrupt you? My bad.
No, apparently I interrupted y'all.
No, not at all. Welcome to the party.
We're talking about.
It was just...
We're just talking about things. What are you up to?
I'm up to the fifth dimension. I don't know what y'all are up to.
I'm feeling
We're
2D
just,
right
you
now.
know...
We were apparently at the 15th dimension. Anyways,
So if I can get the introduction started, everyone, can y'all please welcome Angel Steps? How you doing today?
Hello! I'm doing, I'm doing good. I'm living my best life.
I'm so glad. You ready to talk about all things Nintendo Switch 2?
Dude, I'm so hyped. I have all my documents ready. I've pulled up every list I can think of, and I just realized it's written in a language I can't read, so I guess I'm just winging it today.
Well, you were plugged that into Google Translate, but I will say that I'm so glad that you're here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course. I'm glad you're here. And now, moving on to the next on the list, another new member of the fifth dimension. Please welcome Athena Mythos. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's nice to be amongst mortals always, all the time. Although, you know, hopefully I can impart the wisdom upon you. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Wisdom doesn't equal intelligence, so don't get excited.
Ah, yes, the deity of wisdom. But I'll have you know I am not immortal. I am not immortal. I'm not a deity. I am a being above and below that. So I don't know what I am, but you don't have to worry about that because I'm very wise.
I like it. I'm intrigued. I want to know more.
If y'all are good, I'll let you study me.
Oh, you know what? I'm excited. This is gonna be a good time.
Oh, I'm ready. So I hope you're ready for some Nintendo Switch 2 talk because that's what's gonna happen for the next 2 hours. Oh,
Hell yeah.
man. I'm so excited. And next up on the list, and you know what's so funny about this one on the list? I had to find out through mere conversation that they're also a mad Nintendo fan. Everyone, please welcome Damn Dahlia! Damn, how you doing today? Damn!
did you just call me damn?
Damn. I said it a little quick.
You know, I'm leaving.
Well, all right.
Well,
Well, that was short-lived. Everyone say bye, Dahlia.
Anyways, hi, my name is Doll. I'm doing pretty good. I am a big Nintendo fan. Lots of very much. I could just leave. And you could do the podcast without me.
No, it's good. We need nerds here. We're all
I know,
nerds
but
here.
don't be so loud about it. But no, I'm excited. I have my grievances actually about the Nintendo Switch 2 that I've brought to the table today. So this is gonna be great.
interesting. Okay, cool, perfect. Damn, yeah, no, we need that kind of energy. We need some
If you
back and
keep
forth.
calling me damn.
No, I'm saying damn as in the connecting phrase of a sentence.
Fair.
I'm just all right. I'm not gonna use the word damn no more. I'm just gonna say fuck. How about that? That's acceptable.
Okay, I'll go write the Google document. HM
Wow.
Killer called me fuck.
No, what? Whoa! 6 degrees of separation all the way.
All right,
to
move
Sunday.
on to the next person. Move
Yes.
on.
And then last but not least, you know her, you love her. She's been here many times before, but the first time ever on the fifth dimension, please welcome Miss Fushi. Fushi, how you doing?
I am doing pretty good today. I am so friggin' excited for the Switch 2 is all I can think about besides Severance for like the past forever.
Because like, it's so funny. Like, I know you were bringing up Severance before this thing started, and I still like, I haven't seen it. People's telling me to watch it. I have no idea what it is. Is like Severance as in like severance pay? Is it like a business like drama thing?
It's one of those things that's really good to go into without knowing anything, which I feel like is most things.
Okay,
but yeah,
gotcha.
the name gives you a pretty good idea of what the show is about. Separating yourself from yourself. But it's really
Okay.
cool. It's yeah.
All
And I
right.
know there's gonna be another season eventually.
All right, let's get it. That's adding to the binge list. All right, so there is our cast. There is our panel for today, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to this week's episode of The Fifth Dimension. And of course, you already know me. I'm HMK, aka Killikun. This is the VTuber special. We're going to dive right into it. But since Dahlia brought that up, I actually want to throw the ball over to her first in terms of tell me what are your grievances about the Switch 2? I want to hear this, actually.
I am mad about the controllers.
Oh yeah.
I'm so mad. I hate it. I hate it
This
really
is a
badly.
great place to start. All right, come on. Let it out. Let's get it.
Those things are gonna break so fast. I don't. Ooh, I have. This has been I have been grating on me because I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, so they're making it like a darker design. It's gonna be nice for parents who don't want to have to like worry about the kids like scuffing it so much and like it getting gross over time. Like the bigger screen, it's going well. Like I'm liking some parts of it, and then they showed the connectors.
Yeah.
On how like the controllers connect to the Switch console. And those little prongs sticking out of the sides of the device, one kid tilts that thing the wrong way, throws that thing at the wrong angle, or any like adult that like awkwardly like tries to put that into like the docking station or whatever they have wrong, that thing's gonna snap off, and I don't even know how much it's gonna cost to fix.
Drunk Mario Party is going to end a lot of people's consoles.
Very much so, yes.
There's gonna be people with pliers just like, all right, let's see, like will it, that show Will It Blend? They're gonna make ones like Will It Bend, and then just
They'll
get
try and
in
put it
there.
back in place, but they're gonna break the prongs in the process because there's like little things on them. And I don't care what anybody says. If you've ever seen someone take apart a Nintendo Switch console or any Nintendo console for that matter, the sheer amount of ribbon cables. As someone who works in IT, ribbon cables are the devil, and you don't want them.
It's so funny how you brought that up because I've had some sponsorships like or reach out to me say like, hey, we want to send you this like shell for your controllers or for the Switch itself in order to customize it. Here, there's like a Tears of the Kingdom one. Here's this one. I'm like, I appreciate the offer, but I think I'm gonna pass. It's like, what? No, it's fine. We want to ship it to you and we'll pay you. I'm like, I understand that, but I'm not gonna take apart my Switch, because like if I take this apart and put it back together and it doesn't work, then where am I at? You're not gonna get me a new Switch. You're not gonna like send it to like R&D in order to get fixed. I'm like, I'm good. F that.
No,
Like,
that's so
Exactly.
true. I'm scared about
What do we
the
look like?
kids
How
that-
to basic?
right?
You start throwing eggs
Throw
at
it
the
in the
fucking
garbage
console.
disposal.
I don't know if you guys had this problem with the regular Switch, but like my left Joy-Con for some reason would always get loose, and then I'd be playing
Oh,
a
yeah.
game, and my Switch would be like, "Please connect your Joy-Cons," and I'd have to click them out and click them back in over and over and over.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I saw that.
I am honestly nervous about the connector too. Like I don't have enough tech experience to know exactly what the issues would be, but I am super nervous, and I'm hoping it's better than the
Nintendo hasn't exactly had a big reputation for strong controllers. Like
No.
I guess it's
No, they're
strange
not.
thinking that like it's a console made for kids, and this freaking things are so expensive, man. And
Right.
yet they have the drift issues, and they consistently break. And I don't know of a single person who has a Switch that hasn't had to replace the controllers within the first year for non-decorative reasons.
You know what?
Well,
I legit was gonna try to be like, okay, I'll play devil's advocate, but everything y'all have been saying is like, yeah, no, you're right. I can't even defend them here.
I'll
This
play
is
devil's
true.
advocate because I like so Nintendo sent me a Switch way back in the day, like in 2017, and I still have my Gen Zero Joy-Cons. Now, no, they have drifted and whatnot, but that's like they only started drifting like 3 or 4 years down the line, and by that time I already had like other Joy-Cons and stuff, so I didn't really need to replace them, but I don't use those anymore because I have like 7 sets of Joy-Cons because like, oh, I gotta get that design, I gotta get this design. Oh, they made red ones. Word. All right, easy. All right, the red ones I have on my Switch right now I actually got from Japan because they didn't release this red in America, which is hilarious because like, oh, they have red ones now, but then someone took the color grading and they're like, no, this is red like number 0074, and the one that came out in Japan is red number 0073, which is a darker shade. And I'm like, see, those are the ones I got. I'm not out here trying to get like one shade lighter. Fuck that. So
I just keep staring at the pink Joy-Cons in the Best Buy like gaming section. Like, do I really want to spend like $60, $70, $80 on them?
yeah, they're expensive.
I spent
They
$80
are
for the
expensive.
highlighter yellow ones, and then they broke like 3 months later. And
No!
yeah, I haven't bought one since because I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like,
That's
"This
so
is it. I'm
sad.
done."
I got the purple and green pastel ones because I saw
Oh,
those.
the
and I
pastels
was
Those were
like,
cute.
Yeah.
The Animal Crossing
I
one?
call those
No,
the
I
Easter
have
ones.
I have the Animal Crossing ones too. Though the left Animal Crossing one was the one that died on me and doesn't
Oh.
work anymore.
Oh
heart.
no!
So the pastels were a replacement. Yeah. Just we
I
love
will
you,
say-
Nintendo.
Yeah, like, we love you, Nintendo. And I will say, because I saw someone in chat pointed out, I'm holding it right now, the goddamn Pro Controller. I love
Oh
this thing.
yes, I was about to
Like-
say
Oh,
that
it's
Pro
so
Controller for
nice.
life.
Yeah,
okay.
the Pro Controller
It's-
is so good. It fits perfect. Like, it fits in the hand nice. It's perfect. The buttons make the clicky click. I love it. Like, it's a perfect controller. No, I'm not trying to turn the Switch on. Stop it. But yeah, it's good. It's my preferred controller. I do have the PS5 controller. It's fine. I know everybody loves the PS5 controller.
I
It's
don't.
fine.
Nah. Cause
You
like,
don't? Oh, thank
I,
God.
I
Yeah.
don't because like okay, I love the button layout, but I like answer me this chats and anyone here. Am I the only one who went through this? So both I have 2 PS5 controllers, and I need to get another one because both of them, the thumb guard rubber part of the control stick's lifted. So now they constantly like it's like it's still connected, but it's
I
not.
have seen that.
Yeah, it's not completely bound to the
Yeah.
control stick itself, so it spins on my thumb, and I'm like,
Oh,
this sucks. Like, cause I play like a
that's
lot of
bad
fighting
news
games
there.
and shit, and then people are like, just use the D-pad. I'm like, fuck a D-pad. I use the control stick.
Look, if you could just wiggle like a tiny little thing of like Gorilla Glue underneath that gap, you could fix your problem.
I feel that's really true, but like I'll have to make an incision, and I don't trust myself enough.
That is fair.
Aw,
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Understandable.
No, I actually kind of prefer the DualShock controllers. I mean, I think there's also a thing where it's like there are certain controllers that you can definitely tell are for like bigger hands versus smaller hands.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the Pro controller for Nintendo, but have you guys ever seen like the Power A third-party controllers? That's
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I have like the
Yeah.
tiny Switch one, like the really like the smaller one.
Yes,
I
know exactly
love
which
this
one-
thing.
yeah.
I love it. I think it's perfect. I'm like,
Doll, do
And
you
I don't
also
mean-
have really
and I don't-
tiny hands?
but I don't want to be like, ooh, woo, I'm small. Like I'm not. But it's just also like it's like there. It's just nice, and that's like it's like how I'm like I don't like the Xbox controller because of how bulky it
Yep.
is, but I love a PlayStation controller because I'm like it feels
yep.
like it fits my hands.
You're speaking my language because this is my biggest argument with controllers because I have really tiny hands. And
Tiny hand gang.
tiny hand gang. This is something that like I always feel a little dumb about. My favorite controller is the PS4 controller, and I kind of consistently will use this controller with everything I can
It's
because
a
it
good
just feels
controller.
right,
Mhm.
no matter what.
It's
Like,
solid.
it feels right. And everything else feels a little bulky, and so whenever I can use a PS4 controller, I do. And I'm just sad that that's no longer the main design.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's so funny how we're all complaining, like, it's like, oh, this controller's good, this controller's bad. And I'm like, okay, I want to go back in time and tell the kids who have a Dreamcast or an N64.
Oh my god, that
Your
N64 controller.
Yeah, your controller is ass. Like, just yell at them.
No, I gotta
It's
yell.
like, no,
at,
my controller's perfect.
I gotta yell
Yes,
at
you were
whoever.
controller, my heart.
I gotta yell at whoever is out here trying to stand Xbox One, not Xbox One, but the first Xbox controller. That thing was
Oh,
an
God.
absolute travesty. I'm like, how? did
Those
this
bitches
ever-
are fat.
Oh, I'm like,
That's a
how
big
did that
controller.
shit like get off the ground in terms of design? Like,
How are you gonna make
yeah.
the Xbox smaller but then make the controller bigger? I don't understand.
You can hit
That's
your little
crazy.
brother with it a little more efficiently.
please no.
That's what it's for. Mom said it's my turn on the Xbox.
Can we all agree that the GameCube controller is the best controller?
I like the clicks
Yes.
it makes.
It's like aesthetically noisy, yeah, but like,
It's the best ASMR.
but I guess because I didn't really grow up too much with the GameCube, maybe I'm just not used to it.
That's fair. I have the Wave Runner, Wave Rider. What
No,
were they
the Wave
called?
Bird.
Thank you, thank you. I've got 2 Wave Birds in my closet.
Nice.
One day I'll have a use for them.
Oh,
Mine's
save
got
them. They're
skeletons in mine.
rare now. So
Oh, are they really?
yeah.
Oh.
So they Nintendo lost a lawsuit back in the 2000s that made them stop producing those things.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
What happened?
It was some sort of proprietary technology that was like based in Texas that Nintendo and was utilizing for some of their controllers, and then some other companies also utilized them without permission. And then
They got their
Fair enough.
hand smacked for that one.
oh yeah,
Ooh.
it
Oh
sucks.
yeah. I
No
see both on
touchy.
them for
So
little
it's so
price
funny,
hand
like literally I said this before the stream started, like, oh, that was a tangent. We just started talking about controllers. But let's try and dial back a little bit to the Nintendo Switch 2. And since I gave Dollar the floor first, I'm going to go and throw this ball over to Angel now. And Angel, I want to ask you, what are you most excited for in terms of Nintendo Switch 2? It could be the aspects of the console itself, or a game that you think could come to the console. What's the thing that gets you excited the most when you just think Nintendo Switch 2?
So this might be a really generic answer, but
Okay.
I think when it comes to consoles, generic might be an important thing to look at because kids are most likely just going to want to have fun, right? And I loved when the Switch first released because I absolutely loved the idea of having a handheld that could easily be connected to be a full screen device as well. Like when I was a kid, I had that thing with the GameCube where you could put your Game Boy Advance games in it, and it was like a game changer. I loved it. It was the best thing in the world. And then we never really saw a return of that until the Switch. I loved what the Switch presented. I just feel like it's not that powerful of a machine. It's kind of just a cell phone with wheels is what it feels like sometimes. And I want to see the Switch 2 have the capacity to give games in the Nintendo area graphical capacity that just blows us out of the water. I want to see Fire Emblem games that feel like they were on the PS5 or like late PS4. I want stuff that just doesn't look like it's a few generations behind because it's capped from like the system's requirements.
Gotcha.
So that's
tell me
kind of
something
what
I'll
I'm
never have.
hoping for. But I'm not holding my breath because Nintendo has a habit of giving me a lot of hopes as a big Pokemon fan. And then my hopes consistently go in the grave.
It's so funny because, like, all right, Yellow Angel spitting, all right, let's go. And then you bring a Pokemon, I'm like, oh man, there could be so much power that like Nintendo can have all the power in the world.
I was literally on a podcast talking about Pokemon the other day for like an hour, and I just was nonstop talking for an hour about my gripes about this. So I'm not going to let myself do that here because we have a limited time slot. But God, what I would give just to see a Pokemon game that is actually beautiful. God, what I would give, man. But it's probably not going to happen with the Switch 2, at least not immediately. I think that's a Game Freak problem.
It's more of a Game Freak problem, and it's so funny how you brought that up because that conversation recently came back to the forefront because of the release of Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people were like, "Oh my God, this game looks amazing, Monolith Soft! Like, when will Game Freak understand and learn?" And then here's the thing, right? DB Geek, the B Geek, made a tweet saying, "If I speak," I'm like, I know exactly what he's gonna say because I want to assume that he's in the same line of thinking because here's the thing that a lot of people need to understand. And Angel, I'm sorry, you're probably never going to see.
Going to get that.
Like, you're never gonna get that. You know why? Because two main things. One, Pokemon is at a point where
They don't need to.
their games are not their main money. Like it's not their main money driver, and it hasn't been for more than a decade, right? They act as a platform in order to get the new concepts out and the new Pokemons out, so you can buy the plushies, so you can buy the Pokemon cards, so you can get the coloring books, because that's where the real money is at. Right?
It's a conduit for the merch. It's kind of like how Transformers runs, where the merch is the main thing, but everything else is a conduit to get you there.
Yep.
Like old school cartoons for sure.
Yep.
And then the
Absolutely.
second reason is that despite these games being held together by duct tape, they keep breaking records. So there's literally
Yep.
no reason for them to do that. None. Absolutely none. And it's so funny because I see people like, oh,
Excuse
Pokemon
me.
makes so much money. Why can't they do that? Why won't they do this? Don't they
It's
listen
not
to
about
fans?
the money. It's about what they
like-
need to do and what's going to create a larger profit at the end of the time.
Exactly.
And kids are still content. And that is something I feel like more people should respect the fact that these games are kind of made with kids in mind. I just want to see, the main thing I want to see isn't like an amazing Pokemon game. I miss the era where they were messing around with like offshoot titles like
Oh, yeah,
Mystery
like-
Dungeon, Ranger, Pokemon
Mhm.
Channel. I want to see a
Colosseum.
few new,
Sure.
Colosseum.
Yeah.
I want to see some new offshoot titles that, I mean, the Legends games are kind of like that, but they still feel a little bit too mainline, I think.
Yeah.
But we just get some like quirky, silly things that mess around in these other categories, that mess around with like how things visually look and how things play, that are meant to just kind of fill gaps that the main games don't give. And I think that would be a place to mess around with visuals. They're never going to do it with the mainline games, but maybe a side thing. But who knows? Maybe they're done. Either way, though, it'd be nice. It'd be nice from a modding perspective if the system requirements gave me the ability to beef things up a bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I would love
I
to see a
think that's
Pokemon game that has like I've seen like concept art where it's like the old what's the artist's name? Sugimori?
Yeah,
Yes.
Like the old where it's the old art style, but it's like the entire
Right.
game looks like that. And I'm like, that I want
Beautiful.
that. Yeah, like it looks so good. I'm like that. It's also not very graphic intensive, right? Like the
Yep.
graphics would need to be that intense to make that type of game. They still won't do it because they have a
Nope.
very clear vision for what Pokemon is. It is not a game anymore. It is an industry.
Yep.
And
Yep.
the game does
It's
not
a
make
media.
them the money that the merch does. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
I want to see
Yeah.
I want to see
And
a
I'm gonna have a
Pokemon
drink
game
of
that's
sake
like
in pain.
oh, give please.
Mhm.
I want to see a Pokemon game that's just like Nintendogs or like something where it's just like, hey, it's me and my cute Pokemon.
They had a game like
Period.
that.
Love
It's-
that.
It's called Hey
Love
You
that.
Pikachu. And
No.
then people shit on
Nope,
it.
nope, nope,
No.
nope,
See,
nope,
see,
No.
see
nope,
what I mean?
nope.
That's it.
How did
No,
they make?
you had
How
your
did they make a
chance.
Pokemon
Y'all
game
had
You
your
about
chance.
your
caring
chance.
about Pokemon? So boring and ass. How did
Pokemon
they-
Channel
I-
was one of my
You know
favorite
what's the
games.
How did they do
craziest
that?
thing?
Pokemon Channel.
You know what's the
Pokemon
craziest thing?
Channel.
I had fun with Hey You Pikachu. I was like, it's so funny. I never got the hate.
So, okay, keep in mind, I'm a god. I literally jumped out of Zeus's skull as a fully grown adult. I was
You
never
use
a
your
kid.
god powers to fix things.
No. I was
What kind
No,
of god
absolutely not.
makes Pokemon?
Well, so when I got
Oh,
into
God.
this, I've been here since the start. I've seen everything. I've watched the whole scope of Nintendo from when they were still selling cards. You know, like the whole 9, right?
You saw the whole
I was a
Hotels
grown
too?
The whole thing, unfortunately.
Oh.
Or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But so I have seen the whole thing. And I have seen Hey You Pikachu as an adult. You guys got to play it when y'all were kids. Shit was ass. It was ass. It was bad from the beginning.
Oh my
Maybe you
god!
had to go in with the wonder of a kid in order to enjoy it.
Exactly.
I think
had
that's what it is.
childhood
Childhood
think-
wonder.
I
didn't-
think
didn't
nostalgia
like
makes
it.
you happy.
Yeah.
You didn't like it as a kid?
No, I didn't.
Oof.
Because
I
he doesn't
didn't.
respond to you.
Was your
Well, I
Pikachu a
had-
little bitch?
I had games like Dragon Warrior Monsters 2, and I had games like Cats and Dogs 5. So like, maybe I was a little too blessed in that department.
I already regret being on the 5th dimension because I'm like,
Wow.
I never thought about the ideas. You know I love you. But I was like, I never thought about the idea of a Nintendogs, but it's Pokemon until right
Mhm.
now. Until you said it, and now I want it, and I know I'm never gonna get it.
I'm sorry. I know.
Didn't we already
and it's never
kinda
gonna
get
happen.
that,
That
though?
said,
Yeah, but
Well,
we got
well-
them in like the old days, and the thing that I have the complaints on is they had very limited aspects of what you could do with your Pokemon, and you could only have Pikachu. They were very
Oh,
much.
no, I don't mean
limited.
that in the sense of like
Oh, the
uh,
ranch one, right?
No,
Ranch-
there was like a option I
Pokemon
believe
Ami.
the Pokemon Ami thing where you could
Yeah.
like pet them and like play with them and feed them food and stuff like that.
yes, but imagine
controversial take.
something
That's the
larger.
best. That's the best game. That's the
Yes,
best one.
I agree.
Because you can pet your Pokemon, and if you pet them in the wrong spot, they're like, "Hey, fuck you."
Yep.
They get like mad.
But
It
you know,
kills
it's
me.
funny because like as Pokemon games go on and whatnot, they do have like these like little sections where you're like, oh, if you're having a picnic, you know, you have your team out and they're doing stuff like
Yeah,
fetch and all that.
exactly.
So maybe
Yeah.
we'll reach a point eventually within the main games where something
Where
like
it's
that, where you're
expansive enough for that. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
X and
That'd be
Y
cool.
really got close to that recipe, and then we kind of stepped away a little bit and simplified it. So I'm really
because everyone
hoping
was
like,
shitting
we
on
just
X and Y.
no, but you know what?
That's the
I
thing
love
that blows my
X and Y,
mind. It's the
and they
best
shut up.
one.
Exactly.
It's the
Well, maybe
best
not
one.
that.
X and Y.
Whoa.
It's the best one.
Whoa.
That's my controversial take. It's the best one. It's
how long
the
ago
best
did you
one.
play it? How long ago did you play it recently?
Recently, I still have my 3DS. I still play that game.
I tried to
love that game.
replay it a couple months
The
ago.
story's
and I
ass.
was
I will
like,
give you that.
no, it's poopy.
No, it's not
I'm,
poopy.
I'm unfortunately a
everyone's
Diamond and
favorite
Pearl
gen?
loyalist, so
What's everyone's favorite
Diamond
gen?
and Pearl is also good.
Oh,
There's not a bad one. Well, there is a bad one. But like
there is a bad one.
there is a bad
Yeah,
one.
there is
Oh,
a bad
black
one.
and white.
Yeah, there's a
Black
bad
and
one.
white are really good too.
Yeah, black and white, like that story-wise, black and white is the best one.
And
And
on
it's
my
the
Gen
best
3 hill.
Yeah,
Gen 3 hill.
I'm Gen 2, Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Yes!
Ruby
Yes,
Sapphire,
killer,
baby.
yes!
Let's go.
We
the
don't
best.
talk about Sun and Moon. Anyways,
Yeah, we do not talk about Sun and Moon. Awesome villain. Like, I do like her, but
Oh, Lucamine. I was all like, wait, you were talking about like, it's your boy Guzma.
Goose was cool too, goddammit.
Guzma is cool. He is cool.
He's cool, but not for
the-
villain
But,
reasons.
exactly,
But he's not the best.
Yeah, he's not the final villain. That's all. Like, it's so funny how they were
No,
marketing
yeah.
him to be the final villain, and then you play the game and you find out that Team Skull is literally just a bunch of thugs, and I'm like, where's the conquest? Where's the world domination?
No,
The worst game is still, and I don't say this because like, oh, the graphics
Oh,
are bad.
here
I
we
just say
go.
this because it's the one I have the least fun with.
Hmm.
Sword and Shield. I was like, this is
It's
the one I had the
fair.
least fun
I
with.
didn't-
It's
I didn't
okay.
hate it.
I don't think it's
That's
bad.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
I've had issues with that one. I just can't seem to beat it. Like, I don't know. I always lose interest about halfway.
Yeah, like
I don't know
like
if it's the
concept
wild
of-
zone or what
Yeah.
it is, but something about it just feels lifeless, and I find myself bored. I don't know
That's
what.
what.
to-
That's my problem. That's my problem. I
Yeah.
think like Scarlet and Violet did a much better job of what they were trying to do.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I do actually really like Scarlet and Violet. I think the story's really
Same.
good. Open world, I think, is really cool. Yeah, it's good.
You know,
My
Can
two
I-
complaints with Scarlet and Violet is just visually, and then the bugs on
Yeah.
release. But like, they finally gave us a Pokemon game with story that was actually good.
So good.
There we go.
Arvin, man.
Something good.
Arceus
Arvin, I
is
just
my
want to give him a big
crush.
hug. Maybe a slight
Same,
smooch.
bro.
so that's why
Yo, he's great.
I keep saying that, like, you know, because people constantly have sandbagged Scarlet and Violet, like, to no end and whatnot. I'm like, I had fun with the game. I thought the game was really,
it's
really
fun.
good. My main issue is, like, it's a fun game. It's just held together by duct tape. That's it.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
know?
that's my big problem with it.
Yeah,
like-
it's like a macaroni project your friend gives you. But you're like, oh my god, thank you.
Right, it's
and
like-
it's special.
Yeah, this is so cool.
It's
yeah.
like someone
but like you would
presenting
like
you,
shake
like,
it around.
yeah, it's like someone presents you like a macaroni transformer, but you know you're not supposed to play with it. It's really cool, but like if you try to transform it, then it's gonna fall apart. So
Yes,
Yep.
that's exactly
Well,
it. Yeah.
I have a way to tie this into the Switch too. Just a thought.
Okay.
So you know that 3DS service is gone down now. So
Yeah.
a lot of the
Uh-huh.
older Pokemon games.
Chris,
lost.
uprising by
Yeah.
No,
You-
Pit, come back.
Well, you can't get like, you know, Crystal and Gold and Silver and those games where you could like trade your Pokemon up to home
remind me.
and use. Do you think we'll ever see like those Pokemon games potentially on the Switch too in some form of service or virtual console?
It's
I'm
I
funny.
miss
very
Virtual Console.
hopeful.
I know that's controversial, but I miss it so much.
I don't think we're
Yeah.
ever getting DS games on the Switch.
Nope.
I don't know how
So-
they would run.
Here's the thing, right? I'm so glad you brought this up because I was on another podcast not too long ago talking about the idea of the NSO being expanded on Switch 2, right? And like what they could,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
bring on. Because on the not N64, on Nintendo Switch 1, it caps at N64, Genesis being like the highest systems on that because it has NES, Super NES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. They could definitely do something like that where they bring in those titles if they were to like add it as a you know, just that smidge of a premium. And then here's something that I feel that a lot of people are not getting on the idea of, you know, DS games or maybe even like if Nintendo wants to go like balls to the wall, 3DS games on the Switch 2. Here's the thing, right? If you're gonna get a Switch 2, right? Of course, there's the idea that you might want to trade in your regular Switch because everything is backwards compatible and blah, blah, blah. But we're in the day and age where almost every household that has a Switch, especially when it comes to like the biggest nations of the world that like really invested in the Switch, including that of Japan, Europe, and North America, then these people or households have more than one Switch in the household because like, oh, Switch is obviously aimed at kids or families. And then like, okay, your 2 kids each have a Switch. There's a Switch for the home. Maybe your dad's a gamer. He has his own Switch as well, right? You know, there's a Switch Lite for the kids, Switch OLED for like the more hardcore clientele, blah, blah, blah. The point is that if you're going to get a Switch 2, then I would say, you know, I like, you know, to be generous, 6 times out of 10, you might have a Switch already in your house. Who's to say that Nintendo isn't planning some sort of connectivity functionality that you sync up your Switch to your Switch 2, where your Switch 2 is docked, and then the Switch, the first Switch, acts as your bottom screen for a DS.
Like a Wii U.
Yeah, exactly like
That'd
that.
be cool. Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
You see those mock-ups of like a top screen someone made to attach to the top of a
Yeah, they
Switch?
flipped
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
Switch, added it to the USB-C port.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm
That's such a
thinking
neat concept.
that is a
Yeah.
really cool
I'm
idea
thinking
for like
Riku.
additional hardware. But I would say, if anything, if they're going to if they do end up doing DS support of any kind, I think that because they ended up expanding the screen size, because now it's like, I believe it's like 2 inches larger or an inch larger than it was before.
I think it's 2 inches. Yeah.
Well,
see.
the original screen sizes for the DS, like those were like each little 3-inch screens. I'm wondering now that it like actually fits and you can add like barriers between the 2 screens, maybe that might be why. That might give the opportunity, so they're just side by side rather than like on top of one another. So maybe, I don't know, but it's
That's
possible.
an interesting thought.
Oh,
'Cause,
yeah.
when you
Mhm.
do a capture card, if you want to, if you have a 3DS capture card, you can do that side by side if you want to, make one bigger, one smaller. Because I know, wasn't Wonderful 101, wasn't that a Wii U game that
Yes.
they brought back?
Yep.
And they had something where you could display the bottom screen on your Switch and then like change the way it looked when you went inside of buildings. stuff
Right.
Like that.
Yep.
Like, so there's ways to make it work. I guess it depends on the game.
Yeah, exactly, because something that another game that did that like a similar enough was Dream Drop Distance Kingdom Hearts when it
Yep.
got remade into
Yeah.
2.8.
Oh, yeah.
So whenever you would have to go into like a drop mechanic or anything, like they would just pull up the screen that would be the second screen on the DS, just on the main screen. So there are workarounds for that.
Yeah, I guess it's game dependent more so than an overall issue.
Absolutely.
I just want DS support though, man. That's what I want at the end of the day.
Yeah, that would be so
Yes.
nice.
I would
I
love
would
DS support,
beg.
and like that would really turn a lot of people's heads if this got like talked about or revealed during the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. And then another thing that was brought up in that same conversation was like the possibility where I personally don't see it coming, because I'm very cynical on the idea that Nintendo or any other company can just repackage games from this generation and remaster them and just sell it back to you, and people will buy it because people have bought it. Where the idea that GameCube games could be added to the NSO if you were to pay a higher premium. And then at first I was like, I'm not so sure about that, because it's in the my argument is that it's in the perfect point of nostalgia and what's the word I'm looking for? Fidelity, where they can just remaster it and sell it back to you, and then just up the graphics to like 60 frames per second, 1080p, slim the edges around, blah blah blah. But then one of my homies on the podcast said, but what if they do a premium where it's GameCube and Dreamcast support? And I'm like, stop.
Stop.
That was like,
stop.
and because it's
Now you're
not
just playing with people's emotions.
exactly, but it's like it's not out of the realm of possibility because Genesis is on this NSO, right? So I'm like,
When
Yeah.
they put Genesis there, it opens the door.
yeah.
Yep.
So I'm saying, like, if that happens, that would make waves. Like that announcement in itself would make such waves. It will generate so much money if they were to like add maybe $5 or $10 on top of the premium that people pay already for NSO. Like people will shell out for that easy. Right?
Oh yeah.
So
Man, I'd love to see a better online service for this.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because
That too.
I don't know
yes.
how many of you guys did a lot of Animal Crossing, but
Yep.
I
Mhm.
mean, I owe my Twitch partnership
Yep.
to that game existing during the pandemic.
Oh,
but like,
really?
yes,
Aw.
but like
That's nice.
you would try and get people to connect, and it was so ass,
Wonky.
and like
Yeah, it was
one
bad.
person with a whoopsie connection, and like all like 9
Nintendo Switch
people get
Online
booted
needed help.
out, and
Just
I
every
want
time your screen
good
goes to
online.
black and then you just walk out of the Dodo Airlines and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah, it's like it didn't work. I'll be back.
Man,
had ass internet
Dodo,
joined. Stop.
Dodo Airlines.
more like doo-doo online.
Get
But I
them.
would, yeah, please, I would be willing to pay more for better online.
Yeah.
You know.
Same.
But,
Oh, absolutely.
Please.
All right, so Dan, we went off quite a bit of a tangent on that one. So going into the next subject, because I saw someone in the chat bring something up like this, and I do want to hear y'all's opinion on the matter. What is a absolute dream game? Now, this is like spinning off of what Angel said earlier, but your absolute dream game. It could be anything, because I feel that given the Switch going into Switch 2, we're gonna have some sort of substantial power leap. So like I feel like almost no game that is current gen on like Xbox or PlayStation is off the table if Nintendo like, you know, decides to work their magic with the Switch 2. So what game, whether it be Nintendo or otherwise, would you think is a dream game, or maybe a new installment in a series you like to see on Switch 2? So for this one, I'm gonna throw the ball over to Athena first.
Okay, I got a few. I was trying to narrow it down, so I was like, okay.
All right, let's get it.
The first one's not technically a game, but I was thinking of like what I want from the Switch 2. And it's this is gonna be this is one of those I think you maybe just had to be there.
Is it Mario Paint?
No, but Mario Paint, I mean, it does have like they do kind of have the mouse thing. So
Exactly.
it's like like Mario Paint is an option. But for me, the thing that it's supposed to be a hybrid console. It's supposed to be home console and handheld, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to cons like Anime North, right? And being so excited.
I know
Oh,
what you're
I
gonna
know
bring up.
exactly
Yeah.
what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
okay, we already know where this is
I
going.
know where this is going.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm
I
in
see
the
what
same
you're putting
boat.
down.
Yeah,
Say it, say it.
I would get so excited to see who I street passed with.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want Street Pass to come back really
Dude, Street
bad.
Pass was such a good thing. It was so good.
It was so good.
Yes. It was
Hell, not
great.
even-
It,
Not
Go
even just conventions. Also, just when you went in the airport, it was a joy. Like it was
Oh,
just like,
yeah.
oh my god, I saw somebody.
it's
The
one of
little,
those
like-
things where you start looking around, like, where are you?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like
To see
it
who
shows where the
was.
person's from, and then like the little puzzle
Yeah.
thing that you would unlock with the more Street
was the
Passes
best.
you got. Like,
Street
it was just
Pass-
such a good system.
Street
I still
Pass
bring my
walked.
3DS to cons.
Yo, same. Street Pass walked so that Pokemon Go could run.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's a big one for me. The other one is, and this is my bias, because I don't even know if this game would sell well.
Oh,
I want a new
Oh.
F-Zero. I wanted a new F-Zero for ages. I think it's time. Like the Switch 2 could
sell.
have the power to like really make. Because I get that Nintendo's like, well, we don't want to do another F-Zero because like we pushed the limits of what we could do with it, right? And I'm like, yeah, but now with the Switch 2,
Lies.
you can make the speed crazy. Like we're talking like beyond Sonic, like like so fast. So that's something I'd love to see. Also, Punch Out because I just
Okay.
adore Punch Out.
Nice.
Punch Out, but it's fitness boxing. Like
Ooh.
Punch Out, but like you actually like. So it's a fitness boxing game, but it's
Like the
Punch
Fist
Out.
of the North Star one that came out recently.
Yes, that game is so good. I love that. I love the Fist of the North Star game. It's so much fun.
Nice.
Me too.
But
Fitness
that could be like
boxing.
an easy throwaway game for them. Like yeah, so it's Punch Out, but it's fitness boxing. You know, like that'd be fun. I would play the hell out of that.
Absolutely. Yo, sell for like $20-$30.
Yeah, nice easy game. Yeah, toss it out, add it to the workout routine. It'd be good.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, those are some really, really good choices. Because like I'm still reeling over Street Pass because oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I
saying
want
Street
it.
Pass activated
my
like 20
God.
neurons in my brain, and I'm like, oh.
Same.
I
I used to
want
take that
it.
shit to PAX East, and it would get electric over there, especially in like the lounge area where everyone was just like sitting on beanbags playing their 3DSs.
Oh yeah, that was good times.
It gave such a good concept of like community in reality that didn't feel forced or awkward. Like it was just such a casual, positive thing.
Right.
When they kept in the like the commercial for what is it? Pokemon the new one where it's like Stadium. What am I thinking of? Champions.
There you go.
Yeah.
In the commercial for Champions, you see like them like walking around outside and I'm like, okay,
Right?
you want us moving. I get it, Nintendo. You want us moving. Right? Like the way you get that is by making us walk around outside because you also got coins for I think it was like 100 steps. You got like 2 coins. All right? So like you want me moving, then make me move. Like make me go outside.
Incentivize it. Give me.
Yeah,
incentive.
exactly.
Exactly.
I still remember. I forget what it was called. It was the little Pokeball thing that came out with the DS that you would like wear at your hip and you put your Pokemon in it and walk around.
Oh
when I
yeah,
was in middle school.
It was a pedometer, but
Yeah.
Pokemon Go Plus, I think.
No, it was the
No,
one that
it
came
was
out with
before
Heart
that.
Gold Silver.
Yeah, it's an
Oh.
old one.
Yeah, the
I
one that came
love
out with
that
the
I
thing.
used to use that a lot. The Pokewalker.
Yeah,
Pokewalker, yes.
There you go. You want to
Such
know?
a simple
really good
thing, but I
pedometer,
love
too.
it.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You want to know the fun fact? So this, what do you call it? I forgot what you call it. Anyway, like this company or whatever, these testers, they tested the Pokewalker against some of the most powerful pedometers on the planet, like $500, $1,000 pedometers, and the Pokewalker was more accurate than them.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I believe it.
They did a whole
believe it.
study about it, and then people were like, "What?" And Nintendo's like, "Yeah, have it for free." Well, it's like more accurate than $1,000 pedometers that are on the market. That's crazy.
I was really into track and field during that time in my life, and no joke, when I did my races and my runs, I had my Pokewalker.
Yeah, good.
Oh my God.
That shit was so funny. It's like it just kind of reminded me about the whole thing of like Nintendo just like stumbling upon like crazy technology when they're just trying to make a good product. It's like, oh, Luigi wins at Mario Party by doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do love how creative Nintendo is with some of its concepts. Like the whole idea of the Wii. I mean, I love the Wii. Personally.
Me too.
I think it
Me
was
too.
a fantastic console. But I love
Oh.
how brave they are and how willing they are to like try unique things.
I still remember one of my favorite titles for the Wii was one of its swan song titles. It was called The Last Story.
Oh
Love
yes,
that, guys.
Project
Oh,
Rainfall.
yeah.
Let's go.
Last Story was so good, but because it was the last game on that console, like no one fucking played it, and because it required the
Yeah.
Wiimote, like it kind of just died with the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was such an
Oh.
incredible title. Oh my god, I want more RPGs like that. I feel like I grew up in an era where like PS2, PS3, we got so many unique RPGs from Japan. And nowadays, like I get Persona 5. I get like the big ones, and then we just don't see the
Have you
where are they?
have you
where-
played any of the Xenoblade games?
I have.
You-
I haven't beaten
Okay.
one yet, but I do enjoy them. I just haven't dedicated enough time to like
They're big ass
fully go
games.
through them.
They're
Yeah.
I played-
they're
ginormous games.
really long.
Yeah.
It
I-
took me 3 tries to get through Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and then when I did, I like basically cried at the end and said it was one of my top 10 games of all
Good.
time.
Good.
Beautiful.
So
Now you gotta play
played-
Xenoblade 2 and 3.
I beat 2. I have spicy opinions, and I'm on
Oh.
3.
Ooh, okay,
I'm
perfect.
on 3. So
I played X for the first time today.
And how did
It's the first Xenoblade I've ever touched,
How are you
and I
feeling?
was so it was so fun because I'm like there's a clip of me being like, it's like we based it off one of our cities, and I felt so dumb because I was like, "Welcome to California," which is not a city; it's a state. Right? I don't live there. I don't know. Right? So I was like, "Welcome to California," and they go, "Welcome to New Los Angeles." I'm like, I was joking. Oh my god.
Yep.
Because I
Isn't
did
it
not
pretty?
expect that at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's New Los Angeles.
it's such a
I-
pretty game.
It's super pretty. My immediate reaction when like combat started was I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Because it was very different.
Yeah.
But then after they let you like, so I did like a running jump off the cliff when you like
Oh,
have
God.
to get to the when you have to get to the habitat. So I like ran and jumped off. I'm like, what the fuck? This game is awesome! So I was like, this is awesome. Yeah, I'm really liking it. Yeah.
My first Xenoblade, just a tiny bit of an experience, was when I first went into the oh my gosh, was it the Gower Plains? I forget what it was called.
Xenoblade 1, yeah, Gower Plains, yeah.
Yeah. When I went out there and I was looking at everything and I was like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. And I remember it was Ant who was next to me, Ant dude, and he was like, you see that over there? You see that in the distance? You can go there. And I was like, oh, it was like in everything the light touches, like Mufasa.
This is our
Simba
kingdom.
moment.
Love it.
They're
That's
so
the best
good.
feeling. When it's like
Yeah.
you can go over there. That's not just
Yeah.
in like you can walk there. Like
That's
oh, it's
rendered
so
because
cool.
you can touch it. Like,
Yeah. It's like that's so cool. I felt that way with
Yeah.
like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
yes.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
like you can just go there. It's like, oh, that's
my
so
gosh.
cool. Yeah.
I never
love to
rode a
see it.
horse like playing that because I always wanted to like. I'm like, I'm gonna run there,
Oh,
run
that's
there,
a
run
that's
there.
a mission.
Yeah.
That's a, yeah, some of that is hard. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Parkour.
I have trauma of horses from Red Dead, so I
Oh,
tried to like not.
Boy.
I didn't want to bring my horse too many places. I was like,
I know. You're like, but he could die.
yeah, but he gonna get hurt. He's my special little
Yeah,
guy.
my
you know,
butt will
like,
get hurt.
yeah.
So, two things before I throw the ball over to Fushi, because like she was making some really good points. So I want to hear what she would want from Nintendo 2 in terms of dream game. Two things. To cycle back to what Angel said about the last story. You want to know a super fun fact about the last story?
Hold on. Yes, I do.
So the last story is actually developed by Miss Walker, and it was directed by Hironobu Sakaguchi and composed by Nobu Umatsu, who are known for, you know, bringing life to the Final Fantasy series. Sakaguchi
Yep.
is the one
Yeah.
who created the Final
Yep.
Fantasy series. So when he made his own game called The Last Story, I'm like, you know, of course you would call it The Last Story.
yeah, right?
Like, Final Fantasy, The
Final
Last Story.
Fantasy.
Gotcha, man. It's like,
Man's obsessed with the ending.
oh yeah, the end of the
Except
story.
this one didn't get a second.
I believe Miss
Impression.
Walker is still active and he's still making games, so I believe. Just wait.
Oh my god, maybe that'll be my switch to tinfoil hat.
There you go. There you go.
The last story too.
My dream RPG will never get a sequel.
Which one?
It'll
Oh.
never happen.
Say it.
The
Say it.
Legend of Dragoon. Like,
Oh.
Legend of Dragoon will never happen.
Didn't it get a remake? Like a
No,
remaster?
it-
recently?
I think it got a remaster. It's never
Yeah.
getting a sequel.
Oh.
That is never happening. And it makes me so
Oof-a-ree.
sad.
Oh,
I want
man.
another Radiata Stories, but that's also never happening.
Which one?
Aw.
Radiata Stories was a PS2 title.
All right, wait. I gotta hear. Wait, so how do I spell it? I gotta see this.
Radiata Stories. Same people who did Star Ocean, except it was okay. So you had
Oh,
the whole-
this.
yeah, the game had a very like campy, goofy vibe to it all the way through.
Okay.
And then at a certain point, you have to make a decision between which side you pick in a war. Both sides are kind of fucked up, and it is one of the few games I've played where there's just no happy ending, despite being campy and silly all the way through, because it makes a really strong point. Everything runs on a timetable. Like every single NPC has
This
a
game!
24-hour like pathing for when they go shopping, where they go to the bar. Like every character does this, and they have dialogue for all these points, as well as having like 60 recruitable characters that you can choose to interact with on both sides. But it was just such a fun title, and I'd love to see a game similar. It kind of has like Suikoden vibes, but campy.
Gotcha.
And I loved it. I
made
loved it
sound
so
really
much.
good.
You know
It's
what's
such a good game. I've replayed it like 5 times, even as an adult, and I just want another one, but it's never happening.
Angel, you know what's so
What happened?
funny about this that you brought this up? Whatchamacallit, I made a tweet today saying that, oh man, I really hate it when video game developers like market their games with the main characters wearing a certain armor or clothing set, and then it turns out when you play the game, that armor or clothing set is something that's super late game. And then I had a bunch of comments saying this game, and I'm like, really? So is that
It's
true?
so true, though.
It's true.
so true.
Like, oh.
So all the armor actually visually changes, and like you get that armor in the last chapter.
I hate
Yeah.
that. That's crazy.
No one even uses that armor because it's kind of shit.
Oh damn!
You can get the armor from like I forget his name. I'm blanking on his name, but the main character of the first Star Ocean game is like a hidden armor you can get and wear, and everyone just wears that. No one fucking wears the armor on the cover.
That's funny. That's so funny. Wow, it's a small world after all.
Yeah.
So to cycle back over to Fushi, tell me about your dream game when it comes to it could be Nintendo, it could be some old ass game, it could be a game like Rowdy Out of Stories. Is that how you say it? Like,
you said it right. You said it right.
So what game would you like to see, or franchise, installment, whatever have you, on Nintendo Switch 2?
I know it's probably a little bit of a cop out, but if the Switch 2 can become a more powerful console, I would love to see some of the gacha games that people are very much so into these days, like Genshin or Zenless Zone Zero, be able to run on the Switch, handling the online. And then I would love to see like Elden Ring, because I've always wanted to play that portably, like comfy and like snuggled under the covers kind of thing. But as of the Switch is right now, I don't think it could handle it. So I'd love to see it be able to play games like that. Very much.
And it's so fun. You're not alone, because I keep saying that, like, I feel the Switch 2 should, because I mean, it's so funny. MiHoYo said it and never rescinded on it, saying like, Genshin Impact coming to the Switch, and they didn't make an update on it. They didn't say it's not coming no more or it's canceled or anything like that. So like, I would love like a game, because I'm so addicted to Genshin, and like it's not even funny. I would love to see that game come to Switch 2, and they did the collaboration with Horizon Zero Dawn with Alloy being in the game. I'm like, hey, listen,
no one expected that. That was wild.
It was so weird, right?
Yeah, it was out of nowhere. I mean, I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was cool, but I was just so out of nowhere.
Yeah. And I'm saying like, hey, listen, you know how much money I would dump into Genshin if they did some sort of like any type of like Zelda collaboration, like put Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf in the game? Like,
Fire Emblem crossover.
Hell yeah,
Fire Emblem. Give me my husband.
Like, stuff like that would be awesome.
Give me back my marriage options.
Dude, for real?
I was so angry.
Same.
So yeah, I definitely see that happening, Fushi. Like I honestly have like little doubt. I think we're gonna actually see some sort of confirmation of that at the Direct. But now that Dahlia and Angel are kind of like fanning over Fire Emblem, I want to talk about that after I get Dahlia's dream pick. But is it Fire Emblem? Like.
Well, I'm already expecting there to be a Fire Emblem, so that's not going to be the dream one.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna hold my big DDD hammer over Killa's head really quick. Ooh. Nintendo, I have my demands. So it's now a hostage situation. So there are 4 things that I want. 4 things. 1, I want a goddamn new Nintendogs. It's been sitting in the
Oh my god!
I am tired. I don't want that third-party whatever it was Nintendo game that some other company put out. I want my Nintendogs.
Yeah.
Second, I demand a new Rhythm Heaven. It has been too long.
Yep.
Ooh.
Even if it's just a port, I would very much like the port. I would like something of Rhythm Heaven, because on a Switch, regardless, it would be fantastic. Third, please, for the love of God, make a sequel to Tomodachi Life already. I am asking. It has been so long, and Tomodachi Life was fun for people who didn't want to watch their Sims die all the time. Like, it was a fun game where you could just see little weird like interactions happen between me's. And the fourth, and because of how I'm hoping the power of the Switch 2 really holds up, please make me another Kid Icarus. Just please.
Yep.
Yes.
I loved Uprising more than you'll ever know. My brother and I had to share the special little attachment because his broke that gave you like the extra things you could do.
500 hours in Uprising.
It's so fun.
It's literally, I keep looking in my soul, because I keep saying like, Ocarina of Time might be my favorite 3DS game. I'm like, no, like Ocarina of Time, you have the trophy for favorite Zelda game, and the 3DS version is amazing and whatnot. But if I had to choose a 3DS game, like Uprising is probably my favorite 3DS game. And like, it's.
The designs for Hades and Medusa were so cool, and like all of everything was just so pretty and interesting. The gameplay was fun, even if the camera was a little bit funky at times. But otherwise, amazing game, and could be brought to the Switch so easily, and they choose not to, and I don't know why.
Like I would settle for Uprising to Switch 2. Just give it a fresh campaign and just do that. Maybe some extra content here and there. Bring back online. I'll settle for that instead of like a new Kid Icarus game, because that game, like, it's so fun. Like, I want to ask you, what was your first reaction playing the story and like, oh, chapter 9 is the last story fighting Medusa, all right, cool, and then you beat chapter 9 and it just keeps going and it keeps going.
I was heavily confused at first, like, wait, I thought I beat the game. I thought the whole point was beating her, and then it's like, oh god, there's another boss.
And it's so funny because like it like the full game is more than double when what it was originally initially marketed to be, because it was marketed like, oh, chapter 9 Medusa's the end, right? But then the full game is actually 25 chapters. And I'm like, bro, huh? Like I was that shit was like the gift that kept on giving. It really was.
No, I also thought that the attachment to the DS was cool to play the game. I thought that was pretty neat. That was like a big thing on top of it, where just like having the two different thumbsticks was like, this is awesome. I love this. But yeah, those are my 4 things. Nintendo, please give it to me, or Kill is getting hit with the hammer. That's all I'm saying.
I guess I'll die. Like,
Guess I'll die.
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
We gotta make we need to make like the bingo chart of like, okay, we want this and we want this, and
And then Nintendo will look at us and say no. and one last thing, because on top of the like RPG talk that you guys were having earlier, I didn't want to fully interrupt. Did you guys ever end up playing a triangle strategy on the?
No,
just the demo.
So,
I didn't play the whole
do
game.
you remember the graphics for that game?
Yes. Beautiful.
I thought that like the idea of like that 2D pixel style on that sort of 2.5D 3D aspect, where it was kind of like it looked like a full-on tabletop.
Yep.
It was still just gorgeous, and seeing the visuals. I think with the new Switch 2, I think they could really amp it up. Mind you, I thought that triangle strategy was a bit wordy, but comparatively to the amount of gameplay you got. But I still think they could bring something like that. Like, Square Enix, please. Like, that would be awesome if you could, please.
If they remake
2D
6
RPGs.
Ooh,
if we get like the 6, like if we get 6.
I think
or
put 6
3,
and put
whatever you wanna
triangle
call it.
strategy stuff on top of it. Oh,
That's what I mean. I'm like, if we get 6 and it's, I don't want the 3D. I know some people are like, I want 3D remake. I want it to look, no. 2D, HD 2D. What is it? 2D,
HD 2D. Yeah, HD 2D.
HD 2D. I want HD 2D. Show me Kafka being batshit crazy in 2D HD. That's what I want. Right?
Like, so
that's,
Final
I want
Fantasy
that,
6. Okay.
that look. That's, I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't be like as hard as them doing like a whole like. Also, I love this trilogy. I'm excited for the 3rd one. Not everything has to be remake. Not everything has to be Final Fantasy VII remake or Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Like, those are cool, and we like those. Don't do that to 6. Just let it be a remake. don't do that to 6. Just let it be its own thing.
It's funny because Square Enix, like key personnel within Square Enix, have actually brought up that idea. It's like, oh, if we were to remake Final Fantasy VI, like in modern style, like full 3D, they said it'll probably be almost impossible because there's so much to do to remake. Because the game is like, it's big, it's crazy, it's big, and it's like, yeah, nah. That's why I'm like, I really think HD 2D would work really well for games like Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger.
Honestly, Chrono Trigger.
It's like my favorite.
I heard Fushi say it.
One of
I'm
my
like,
favorite games of all time. And what if they released like an HD, like 2D version of that, and then they have like a section where they keep track of each of the endings that you get, because there's so many different endings. So there are like different achievements for it. Oh my god, I freaking love Chrono Trigger so much.
HD 2D Fire Emblem would go so hard.
Oh my god.
So pretty.
It would be so
Imagine
pretty.
the battlefield. How
I
gorgeous.
know.
My queen, give me Lindis. Give me Lindis. My queen. That's
It's
my
such a
number. That's my wife.
beautiful
That's my number
style.
1.
Oh my god.
Me still trying to smack the heads of the people who made the recent Fire Emblem game, be like, why did you take away my marriage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be able to get married in every game. Just
I
How the
I
fuck
agree.
you gonna give me a Fire Emblem game with Mika Pikazo's art style and then not give me marriage? Like, come on.
I thought that was really weird. I think it might have been like a choice, not from Intelligent Systems, but from Koei Tecmo for some reason. I don't know.
I
Like, it
think
was
they said
weird.
it was like hard to like make that continue to be a thing throughout the series, which is a shame because we got it for like 3 different iterations of the games, and then they ripped it away. I'm like, that's fine.
I will say, and I'm not saying this to be a downer. I love
Oh.
Fire Emblem. I haven't played a bad one, but
You
the
haven't
one
played
that I
Fates?
can think of where it's, I was
I
gonna
thought
say
Fates was fine.
Fates is it like Fates being like, well, you guys like the marriage and kids system in the last one, so we're gonna like just throw that shit in here for some reason.
Okay,
It's
all
like,
right. Time to
it
start a
does
fire.
not
Fire.
work here.
Face was my favorite.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
I don't dislike it, but I'm like,
I'm
your
an awakening
favorite?
girly. I'm an awakening girly.
So
Awakening
I
so
actually
far.
didn't get to play Awakening. So I played them pretty heavily on the GameCube, and then I quit. I just stopped. I just dropped
Gotcha.
Fire Emblem. Not because it was bad, but I just kind of like left. And I
Nah,
skipped
that's
over
fair.
Awakening and Fates. I was working at GameStop at the time, so Fates was in
Fair.
my hand, and I was like, okay, well, you know what? If it's good, maybe I'll get back into Fire Emblem. I became obsessed, absolutely obsessed. So I went back and did Awakening after, and I think because the order I played them in, I have like a loyalty to Fate. But
just-
I,
Yeah. I'm just surprised. I will say, all the husbandos and waifus in Fates are great. I just like the one thing about that Awakening did that I do like. I do love everything they did with the marriage system. I just feel like I'm like Fire Emblem used to be, and my version of it is Binding Blade, right? Or Blazing Blade.
Yeah.
I forget which one it is.
It's
The one that
Binding-
came out
Binding
first
Blade.
here. Binding Blade.
Yeah.
Well, the first one
Um,
that came out here was they didn't name it. It was
Yeah, it was just Fire Emblem.
it was just Fire
Yeah.
Emblem, but I'm pretty sure that was Sacred Stones that came out. No, Sacred Stones was named already. Wait, hold on.
After, yeah,
I'm gonna find it right
It was Blazing Blade, the one with Lindis and
Yeah.
Elwood.
Yes.
like that's my game, right? And I love that one because I like watching other people get together. I don't need
Yeah,
my
Blazing
wife.
Blade. You're right.
like
Blazing Blade. Yeah.
okay, Blazing Blade. I like watching the other characters get together, and then they each have unique endings depending on who you paired together. And the more recent games are like, nah, fuck that, no shipping, waifus and husbandos. And I'm like, okay, I'm not against this, but
Give yourself. I'm married.
I do feel like, well, Crom's the best dog, but like, Crom is the best one. He's the best guy, but like I don't know. Like my only issue is like the waifu stuff hurt Fire Emblem, in my opinion,
Waifu
right? Because I'm
Wars.
like
Fair enough.
well, because that's just it. Because it started waifu wars, and I'm like, like I don't know.
Waifus.
I love waifus too, but I just
I
feel
love
like it
it.
gets in the way sometimes.
That's why I'm like, yo, as much as I dislike Fates, the best thing that came out of Fates was Camila. That's right, Nintendo's Jessica
No,
Rabbit.
yeah,
Let's go!
excellent choice. That's the correct
she has
choice.
such pretty purple hair. It's great.
I like the one maid girl too. She cute.
I didn't like how they split Fates, where like you had to do the fucking Pokemon system of buying both of them.
Yeah, we had to get
Yeah,
I
Conquest.
was
and
really
Birthright.
mad about
was
that.
weird.
I was so mad about
Birthright
that.
and
Conquest. Yeah, Conquest. And Birthright.
Conquest.
Yeah, and then
And then
to
there
get
was,
like
like, a
the like
third.
additional story, yeah, where
The
you like
DLC
figured out
was,
more.
Revelations.
Revelate. That's right.
That was the
Yeah.
middle path.
The thing
I love
is-
the idea of multiple paths. I just really wish they didn't make me have to spend so much goddamn money.
Yeah.
It was also like
Yeah.
weirdly, if you did the third path and you had married like Aqua, you spoilers for everybody in the chat, by the way. It basically kind of was like, oh, you kind of married your relative. It was like, ugh,
I
like-
mean, let's be
Unfortunate.
real. Fates was kind of
Royalty do
full of.
that, Yeah.
Yeah,
Fates
and I was
like
still like,
completely full of that. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fates is like you're gonna have to get used to it. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I
like,
started
okay,
with
I guess.
Birthright, and Takumi was my boy, so you know I walked down that path real quick.
oh dear.
We were
Right.
just talking about like Camilla or Camilla.
Yeah.
I forgot her
Camilla,
name.
yeah, Camilla.
Camilla. She's
Oh
the
my
best
God.
choice, but
But-
she does the whole Onesan thing,
Yeah.
and for some
Yes.
people that's a bit much. Like,
That game really heavily went down
It's
that
like,
path.
oh, like come here to your big sister. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, big sister.
yeah, I was like, my every time I'm like, I really wish you wouldn't say that, but okay. If you
Yeah.
insist.
Oh my
Like,
Oh,
I feel like a lot of times when games get localized, they try to dial down any path that has a lot of the anime relationship stuff that leans in the incest
Yeah.
kind of category. But with Fates, they were like, "There's just no way, man. There's no way to nerf this. We're just gonna have to put it out there and hope to God people don't throw a firefight."
It's like,
Yeah,
I
that's
can
just
imagine,
a buckle up.
I can imagine like NOA and NOE localizers just looking at the thing, looking at the script. It's like, dude, there's no way to go around this. Just say the line, like.
Dude, all of the paths as you started working up the romance with any of your siblings, not siblings, all had a really awkward dialogue point of, well, we're not actually related, I think. We're not, right? Like in every single one of them, and I'm like, oh man.
Wild.
Yeah.
This game, bro.
It was a little rough. Little rough.
I mean, in Tokyo Mirage sessions, they get Tiki, and she was always being like, "Oh, big brother this, big brother that."
Yeah.
But weren't the Fire Emblem characters? Yeah, in that game, weren't the Fire Emblem characters? They were just like, they were basically personas, right? So.
Yeah.
Yes. That was such a
I
fun
would
They
get
kind
into
of
that
are
That was
the
a
new
fun
ones,
crossover.
too.
Yeah. That took
Sort
forever
of.
to come out.
Oh, you know what? That brings me to something I wanted to say, but my brain has been all over the place. I really feel like the newest Fire Emblem game was truly made to appeal to people who played like the older titles, like if you played Path of Radiance and stuff, right? Like I really
Yes.
feel like this was a Fire Emblem not meant to feel like, oh hey, it's the next one following whatever the last one was. I'm pulling a Dum Dum Three
Oh,
Houses.
Three Houses.
Yeah, Three Houses.
It didn't feel like, oh yeah, this is the one after Three Houses. It felt like, hey, we know you guys have been playing Fire Emblem since the old days. Here's a game we made for you. That's what it felt
This
like.
is
to me.
celebratory. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is more to have fun. Because,
I
yeah,
agree.
I didn't even finish. I was like, okay, I don't really like games like this. Like, where it's just like, you remember? I remember. You remember? I remember. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I like these characters. I get it. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a little bit much for me.
there was a
was very
gotcha
I just want the
system.
next one.
So, with that being said, because I'm pretty sure I got everyone around the room on your like dream pick and whatnot. Like my dream pick, the whole thing that started this conversation, this specific part of the conversation, is that earlier in the chat, someone said, "How do y'all feel about the idea?" And I'm like, this could be the next Zelda that's on Switch 2. I would absolutely adore the idea of from the ground up Ocarina of Time remake, like in the style of like,
Yes. I know it's Ocarina and everybody's like, yeah, we get it. It's great. But it is great, though.
Who's we?
But it
Nintendo
is
we?
great, though.
Like it is
What if
good.
they
Like,
made
that's
it
what it's like.
darker?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Then it's Majora's
they-
Mask.
yeah. Well, what if they did something with it? They're so connected in so many ways.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, what if you did a game? See, now you're cooking. Because what if it's a
Yeah,
game where
yeah.
it's Ocarina of Time, but then they don't tell you that, remember, like, when you played Pokemon Gold and you found out you could go back to Kanto
Yep,
Yeah.
at the very end?
yep.
It's like, you beat the game, and then it's Link going through the woods.
And then
And
you
you're
keep
like, wait,
going
what the
into
fuck?
Majora's Mask.
And it keeps going into Majora's Mask. Oh, it'd be
That
so
would
cool.
be insane. Oh
Like
man.
they
Yeah.
tied them together in some
Ocarina and the
way.
Breath of the Wild.
There's no
are
way they'd
wild.
hide that. There's no way they'd hide that secret. There's no way.
So
They
Oh,
tell us
God.
right away.
don't
YouTubers
know.
would spoil it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I don't know about the
YouTubers.
idea of like in the Breath of the Wild engine or the Breath of the Wild like what do you call it, physics, right? Because I would rather
Yeah.
it stick towards Ocarina of Time, like retain Ocarina of Time's identity. I don't want Ocarina of Time thrown into the Breath of the Wild like physics style, right? I want to retain everything. It's just like Ocarina of Time, but more like big, like Resident Evil or Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 4 remake, kind of like that, where it's like it's Ocarina of Time, still retains identity, but like bigger in the sense where like more robust action, more robust like gameplay and combat. Like take notes from Wind Waker and Twilight Princess in terms of the parry mechanic and the hidden skills. Full on voice acting, expand the world.
Yes.
Enough so that there's like a bigger desert or bigger field or whatever, and then maybe add some new enemies, add some new bosses. And what I'm saying is that make a robust side quest system that fleshes out key characters throughout the game. So there's like side quests that happen with like, oh, you do a side quest with Saria, a side quest with Darunia, in order to flesh out those characters like either in the past or in the future, and then like do specific bosses with them, and then like get more context of how they feel when they either become or already are sages. And I'm like, just that's what I
Just
want.
expand. Yeah, like expand on it. I think it'd be great. The only thing that I would want from Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, is just maybe like during the credits, like Link is like riding back to the forest, and he like looks up and there's like a dragon in the sky, and you're like,
That would be
oh,
sick.
it says Zelda. Like, yeah, it's like, oh, that's cool. And then we don't cry. Like,
Aw. I love that idea though, because Ocarina of Time I feel like is such an impactful, influential, and important game in the history of gaming as it is. So I feel like we would love to see it like just even more beautiful than it is, and then the classic will always be there for anybody who does not
Oh,
want to see
absolutely.
it get modernized. Yeah.
I'd like a Link's Awakening, but for the first game, like straight up just Legend of Zelda, but it looks like the new Link's Awakening they had.
The diorama style?
Yeah, for like just the OG Zelda.
Right.
Like no changes, just it's OG Zelda, but it's the diorama style. I think it'd be cute.
Mm-hmm.
But
I love
that again,
Link's
that's more of a
Awakening
like. I like a lot of the like throwaway ones where I'm like, yeah, and then there's this one. It's like, ooh,
Now that you brought that up, I keep saying this because I'm the biggest advocate for this, where people are like, nah, man, game garbage. Like, I would love a Zelda 2 remake that's handled by Mercury Steam. Like, give me
Which
that
one?
game. Zelda 2
What are
remake
they known
by
for?
Mercury Steam. They're the ones who did Metroid Dread and Samus 2, Metroid 2 Samus Returns remake.
Got it. Okay. I have
that'd
not
be
played Dread,
really good.
but I know that people love it.
Oh,
yeah.
No, Dread was good.
Dread was super good. And then I'm so glad they ended up working on Dread, because when they did the remake for Metroid 2 Samus Returns, or the Return of Samus, whatever, like Samus Returns was the remake name, but the original game was called Return of Samus. The point is that Metroid 2 is actually one of like the worst Metroid games. Like not as bad as Federation Force, but like that game was just not good. And then they remade it into one of the best Metroid games ever. And I'm like, okay, see, like, if y'all can work that magic, yo, Nintendo, just give them Zelda 2 to work on, please.
I think it'd be like that would be a really like leave no stone unturned. You know, like touch on every game that it's like, oh, this one could use like some love, right? Like this one needs like the remake treatment. At this point, I feel like that's what a lot of games are right now. It's like, just go back. Like we're so far ahead that a lot of these games could use like a facelift, right? So it's like give them like the polish and re-release it and remind everybody how damn cool this is.
Absolutely. Just like, I like. Here's the craziest thing about this whole like talk that we're having about Nintendo Switch 2 in general when it comes to the Direct and the console itself. Before we get to the next subject, I just want to point out the fact that, other than Mario Kart, we know next to nothing about what's being developed behind the scenes. And I know that Nintendo has like a lot of shit ready, because they said before in investors meetings that they do not want to plateau with this system, because they always plateaued before when it comes to like a popular successful system. They plateau with the system that comes afterwards. It happened from N64 into GameCube. It happened from Wii into Wii U. They don't want to do that again with Switch into Switch 2. So I know they're cooking behind the scenes, because they've been doing this shit for the Switch already. You know, like they announced Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and it's like, oh, when's the game coming out? Oh, it's coming out in 2 months. What? Metroid Prime Remastered. Oh, when's this game coming out? It's coming out today. What? And you know, so I know they're sitting on a treasure trove worth of stuff, and it's like, it's so interesting to have this like conversation with y'all in terms of like what they could possibly have in terms of their own stuff and stuff that they have ready from third-party developers, which is why I'm gonna segue into that aspect. Third-party games, either games that already exist, like, you know, some games I'm throwing out there like Final Fantasy VII Remake Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16, games like Elden Ring, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, blah blah blah. What games that are either are in existence from third-party developers would you like to see on Switch, or is there a specific third-party developer you would like to see something they build for Switch, where it'll be a game that gets reviewed for Switch, it's like Switch 2, and they're like, oh, it's also coming to PS5, Xbox series of consoles, or like, hey, we're making this for Switch 2 specifically, and it's gonna be like a timed exclusive, kind of like what they did with Monster Hunter Rise and Capcom. I'm gonna throw the ball over to Dahlia first on this one. Third party, what would you like to see when it comes to third party support for Switch 2?
Oh shit. That's hard. I didn't really think that far into third-party support for it. Because I get so focused in on like Nintendo-related titles that I don't really look out too far.
Right. You want us to come back to? Because we can just.
That might be a good one because I gotta think about that one.
All right, so I'm gonna throw the ball over to Athena then.
Okay, so I'm a big fighting game guy.
Oh, let's go.
So at first I was like, okay, maybe the new Virtual Fighter, because there's a new Virtual Fighter coming out. Yeah, and it's done by the team who does who's doing the Yakuza series, right? It's done by the Like a Dragon
RGG, I think it was called.
Yeah. So like that could be really cool. So I think my number one would be like, I think Virtual Fighter would be really cool. However, I was like, wait, so like Switch portable, I kind of want to see the new Silent Hill show up for I don't want to see that.
Silent Hill F?
Yeah, Silent Hill F, because I want to be like under the blankets in the middle of the night playing Silent Hill on my Switch and being scared shitless. I just being scared, like, oh no, or the 2 remake, because I heard that was really good.
Nah, because like I'm so excited for Silent Hill F, because I have a lot of friends that are really into Silent Hill, but then I have a friend that likes Silent Hill, but unfortunately has like really crazy trypophobia, and I'm like, oh, you cannot play this game specifically.
Oh god,
like,
no.
Oh,
the amount of warnings the website gives you is crazy. Like the website's like, this is going to really mess with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my like either the Silent Hill F or whatever Resident Evil game that comes out next. Like I would love to see like Resident Evil
9,
and Silent,
baby. Like
it's coming. My boy's alive. God damn it.
But I honestly think like a lot of people keep on saying Resident Evil 9, and I said this in a recent video. I'm like, what if like chat? I'm gonna need you to hold on to me. What if at the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct they literally announced reveal for the Switch 2 and then other consoles Code Veronica remake?
I'm here for it. It's just the one, I can't remember his name, drives me crazy. The kid with the Uzis, I hate that guy. I'm trying to remember his name. He drives me crazy. But I am down, like Claire. So
of course.
You put Claire in it, I'm gonna play.
The Redfield siblings, let's go.
Yeah. This direct has so much potential.
It
has so much potential. Like it kills me. I'm a big hype beast, so I love directs.
Love it. Okay,
Did
so
they say how long it was gonna be?
No, they didn't yet.
Reveal?
They didn't.
I'm hoping at least 40.
I'm hoping. You know what's so funny? I was the last episode of the Fifth Dimension. Last week, I had another panel of like awesome people: Skyro Ring, Rabbit Luigi, Zach Pack, and Just Jess. And they were sandbagging me a little bit about this, and I'm telling y'all, like this has the capacity to be the best Nintendo Direct of all time, and this is a Nintendo Direct for the first time focusing on a console, like a home console. Yeah, it's hybrid, but it's like mostly home console. People are like, oh, 40 minutes, but like, no, I'm saying like 2 hours.
Yo, I would be here for it though.
I'm saying like E3 conference level time type shit. That's what I want.
You almost kind of need it because it's such a big release. Like it's such a big deal. Like you kind of need it. If it, okay. Sorry, I know I keep derailing us, but
no. This is the Fifth Dimension. Let's go. Like
if, and this is a huge if, because again, hype beast, right? I love getting so like excited for directs, but the time that I would get the most excited was when Smash Brothers was still around.
Gotcha.
If like, I'm not saying a new game. I know that man's done. I know he's tired. Like, I know Sakurai said never ask for me anything from me again. I understand, right? But like, there's got to be somebody out there who can like release like another patch of like here's some more characters. It's like we're not doing a new game, but we're porting it to Switch 2, and here's a new pass. Like here's a new Fighters Pass. Like I don't want a new game because it's called Ultimate. I don't want another one, right? Like it's just that
Ultimate Deluxe.
Well, yeah, see,
the problem is
I'm not too keen on an Ultimate
copyright.
Deluxe, really. Yeah, see, that's the main problem.
No. The copyright is a huge problem.
See?
Yeah.
So, like, I be getting into arguments with people online because, like, I am actually not too keen on an Ultimate Deluxe because, I mean, like, the thing is going to be backwards compatible, right? So, like, there's no reason for them to sell us the game again because we're like, oh, they did it for Mario Kart. I'm like, okay, shove a Wii U disc into the Switch. Go ahead, try. Like, that's why they made Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because, I mean, like, what? It's going to live and die on the Wii U? Fuck that. So, a Ultimate Deluxe, I'm not too keen on that for like a myriad of reasons, right? But I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people really don't acknowledge that issue with copyright because like
it's a huge problem.
Yeah, a lot of the third-party characters that showed up in Ultimate, you know, they showed up on the on the consensus that they show up for that game. If this game does get made as a deluxe and ported or whatever have you on the Switch 2, then Nintendo's gonna have to renegotiate and reacquire those rights for those characters. And if one of those third-party developers does not want to play ball in terms of money or in terms of whatever reason afterwards, then it wouldn't be Ultimate anymore, right? And then would people really want that? Obviously not. Well, I honestly don't think it would be Sora because Disney Disney's like chill. I think it would actually be Cloud and Sephiroth.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's not so much Disney that concerns me. It like, now listen, he is my god king. I love Nomura.
I love Nomura too.
Nomura has a place in Elysium, ready, prepped. That boy gets whatever he wants. But the fact that he's like, no, it has to make sense. I'm like, no, it's a fighting game. Like, it doesn't matter.
That's why he was abrasive at first, but I mean, of course he relented.
Yeah.
But oh man. But I honestly think it's like it will be an issue with third-party developers at this day and age because now they're understanding like, oh, crossovers are lucrative if we, you know, do a certain thing. Because I mean, like the biggest case in point, look at Astrobot. We have so much DLC for Astrobot plus the base game. There are no Square Enix characters in that game, and I'm like, why not? Like,
yeah, that's weird.
Right?
All right, let me pitch you this. Okay, it's a grounded, back to basics Smash, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just like back to basics, and then we slowly introduce new characters.
Oh, absolutely.
Astrobot's one of them.
Oh, I'd be so down. But here's the thing. Like, I would love Astrobot. I'm actually a little bit more keen on Kratos if we get a PlayStation rep.
It'd be so cool, though. I thought about that so many times where I'm like, he'd be so cool. But he's violent, right? So it's like, I don't...
So is Snake. So is Joker.
Snake is pretty violent.
Bayonetta.
Joker.
Like...
Yeah.
It's fine.
Bayonetta's... Every time I'm like, oh yeah, she's Nintendo. That's kind of crazy. But... I think... Okay. I've said this before. I almost wonder if Sakurai's like, because it's called Ultimate. I almost wonder if it'd even be a fighting game at this point. Like, I don't like, or if they'd be like, we're just gonna do something totally different.
Well,
like, I don't know what that different would be, but just something completely different.
I don't think it'd have to be too completely different because even though it's called Smash Bros. Ultimate over in America, like it's known that the Smash Bros. Games have completely different names in Japan. And Ultimate is just called Super Smash Bros. Special in Japan. So I don't. I don't think that people should put too much stock in the idea of Ultimate being the ultimate because it's funny because it was Super Smash Bros. In America, Japan. Melee was called Deluxe in Japan. Brawl was called X in Japan, and then Wii U 3DS was Wii U 3DS in Japan, and then Ultimate was called Special in Japan. So I don't think it's like they should put too much stock in that.
Would you like to see Subspace come back? Like, the story mode?
Absolutely.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay, I was just checking. It's like, I would love to see that. I want more fighting game characters too, because I know this boy loves fighting games. Like, every time I see Sakurai talk, I'm like, you one of us. I know you are.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
the whole reason why he
I'd love to
Smash
see
in the
somebody
first
else.
place is because he felt bad that he bodied people in Fatal Fury.
Such a funny... That's such a funny reason why he's like, screw it.
It's like, let me make a game where everyone can have fun. And then...
Give me Power Stone. Put Power Stone in there.
Power Stone, that's
like,
a throwback.
Power Stone. Everyone would be like, who is that? And then you'd have, like, well, it's the same thing with Terry. Like, when they put Terry in the game, they're like, who's that? And then you have people like us be like,
I know, uncultured swines every time.
I know.
They're like, Terry. Like,
Kills
it's so
me.
funny because, like, Japan and Latin America was so hyped for Terry.
I lost my mind. I was like, it's Terry! I call him Terrence Beauregard.
You know what's so funny
Yeah.
about that? Like before I throw the ball to the next person, the funniest thing about that is seeing all my Latin brothers and sisters reacting to Terry, and then almost all of the thumbnails for the reactions always had the Bimbo Bear, and I'm like, so for those who don't know who the Bimbo Bear is, the Bimbo Bear is basically like, think of Mexico's Pillsbury Doughboy. That's what the Bimbo Bear is. So like having it in the thumbnail, I'm like, oh, my people, let's go.
That was such a fun. Like you could tell like where everybody was from based off the way they reacted to Terry.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So, throwing the ball over to, I'm gonna throw it to, I'm gonna throw it to Fushi and then back to Dahlia on the third party aspect. Fushi, third party, what would you like to see in terms of Switch 2 support? It could be something that already exists or something that's like, hey, you know, I would love for Namco to do this or some shit. Yeah, the floor is yours.
So this is relevant to like wanting better online support. I
Okay.
don't know if any of you guys have heard of a little game called Fortune Street before.
Yes.
Fortune Street. So
Oh, shit.
I've been talking about that with friends lately and playing it because I know there's a good modding community for it. They recently released a Kirby Fortune Street
What?
mod pack that allows you to play as like different Kirby characters, and there's Kirby boards. It basically doubled the amount of boards available, and it's fantastic. So I would love to see Fortune Street because I would love to like lay back in bed, play Fortune Street with some friends while chatting on Discord on my Switch, and it's a game that lasts a while. So if it had good online support, it would be wonderful. And like there could be so many unlockable characters and boards and like different things, and it's so fun. It's really fun, and it lasts forever. I've had Fortune Street games go till like 4 in the morning.
Oh, that is such a good, like that's a deep cut. I'm like, I did not
Yeah.
expect anyone to bring up Fortune Street. I'm like, oh my
I'd love
god.
to see it. It's Fortune Street's really relevant in my life right now. So like when I was thinking about third parties, I was like, yes.
Are you playing
That would
the
definitely
Wii
be
one right
one.
now, or the what do you call it, the mod you just said? Yeah.
The modded one is available. When I was watching someone play it, they were playing it on their PC, so they were emulating it. But yeah, I would love to see that because I mean it's got Dragon Quest characters in it. It's had Nintendo characters. There's so many different characters you could put in it. Kind of like Smash has a bunch of characters from
Yeah.
different IPs. Fortune Street could do the same exact thing. It would be really nice.
And you know what's-
I want to see more.
You know what's funny
children's like
about Fortune Street? Fortune Street is actually one of the few games. I'm sorry. I like bringing up these fun facts about these random ass things that you guys
No,
bring up.
go ahead.
Fortune Street is
fun,
actually
yeah.
one of the few games where the Mario characters have like Mario characters, including that of Mario and Luigi, have like full on dialogue. Right. So.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Mhm,
Oh,
so if you
yeah.
guys ever want to see what it would be like for Mario to like say full fucking sentences, go play Fortune Street. Oh man.
Yeah,
But
they could add so many characters to it. Yeah, like Eric. I saw Kingdom in chat said Eric. That'd be sick.
that would be so
And, like,
sick.
a Dragon Quest.
That was such a crazy crossover when I first saw Fortune Street. I'm like, Mario and Dragon Quest board game? Like what? Like crazy.
What is this?
I love
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Uh,
Mhm.
So with that being said, let's throw the ball back over to Dahlia because we're gonna have Angel end off this segment. But Dahlia, third parties, have you able to figure any out or?
I really would like them to get their lazy butts up and finish up Hollow Knight Silk Song. I would really like that.
That's valid. That's so valid. I
It
like
doesn't
Omega
exist. We all dreamed
What
it.
do you
It's
mean?
not
Stop.
real.
No, I want to see Tall Boy get his day. But no, I would like to see that. I haven't really played a lot of Dragon Quest games, but I would like to see one. I know there's one in development, but I would like to see it.
Mhm.
Yeah, Dragon
They're
Quest
fantastic
12.
games.
Yeah.
But no, just God damn it, give me the ones that I wanted before. Not even just third party support. Actually, you know what? Rhythm Heaven counts as a third party, right? In a way.
In a way, I think Rim Heaven
Kinda.
would be considered more of a second party franchise, but you know what? Actually, I'm gonna search it right now. But let's
Whatever, give it to me, damn it.
Let's go with Rhythm Heaven. Rhythm Heaven. Actually, no. The Remheaven is like first party. It's like straight up Nintendo SPD.
Damn.
We want it anyway. We
Yeah.
want it.
Yeah, give it anyway. Give it anyway.
You know what? Game Pass. Give me Game Pass.
You know what's
Give
funny?
me
You,
Xbox
The
Game Pass.
entire DS library.
you're joking, but that's actually a very big possibility it could happen.
It might happen.
True.
Like, which kind of I have heard like the rumors of it. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I feel like it'd all be over at that point. Like that's a huge get.
Yep.
Mhm.
But I mean, like, hey, like it'll give a chance for like Xbox developers and partners to like find life on other consoles and whatnot, and then those people will create more games. It's just that if Xbox ever decides to bow out of the console business, that doesn't mean that the people making games for that console is left in the dust. And I feel like a lot of people are missing that idea.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
Mhm.
I'm down for it. Like it just seems so odd to me, right? Like I think it's just because I'm stuck in that like console wars headspace, right? Like where I'm like, no, I don't advocate for it. I don't advocate for it. It's just it's always been in my head, like. So it just, I was like thinking about, because I love like I was gonna say the first 3 Halo games, but that's not true. I also really like Reach and stuff.
That's
like that.
right.
Yeah, Reach is really good.
Oh, I love Reach.
Yeah, Noble is my guy.
Oh yeah.
But
now I'm sad. Now you're making me remember the last.
Yeah,
game,
I was like, never mind. We're not gonna go there.
It's
It's sad. My point isn't better. But
Just the glass.
I know, but like, I think it'd be cool. Like, it'd be cool if I'm like, I'm on my Switch playing Silent Hill F like a crazy person, and then I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna boot up Halo on my Switch. Like that just doesn't that sound crazy?
It sounds
It's like-
really cool.
It sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
like it'd be kind of cool.
I'd be so down. That'd be some
Yeah.
massive third party support. But
Oh yeah.
we'll have to wait and see. That would be crazy if like whoever is like the current spokesperson for Xbox right now, is it still Phil?
Phil.
No, is Phil Spencer still? Like, because
Yeah,
like
it's still
imagine Matt Booty showed up on the direct, and I'm like, Matt, Mr. Booty. That's crazy. But with that being said, let's. You got a thought?
Oh, it's kind of connected, but it's kind of not. So I don't want to.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Go for it.
That is the point of fifth dimension.
So
Go, Queen, go.
speaking of like third party and other games, I don't think they'll ever give us the ability. But when you go in the eShop and you like to like look at games and you're like, let's
Yeah.
see what's new. I would love if I could mute those AI ass games from all those developers
I
that
would
call
love that
my
too.
feed
My
with
God,
Hentai
please.
Girl 1, 2, 3, 7, 6.
Yeah, the
Look at my
shovelware.
shiny
Yeah.
Pixar ass looking puppy.
No more
Like, I-
hentai golf, please.
Yes, I want to be able to hide those games so bad, so I can see
Like
the
mute
actual...
developers. Yeah.
Yes, let me mute those terrible developers so I can see those beautiful indie games and actually enjoy exploring the eShop. Because the
Bro, that
current
was-
eShop is booty hole.
I
that
miss
was
the
the
days of the
first,
Wii Shop channel.
That
Oh,
was the
we
very
should.
first thing that went viral on my TikTok was I just made a
really?
small video that said like, why do I go on the Nintendo eShop? And the very first thing I see is hentai golf. And I'm like, oh no.
It's so valid though, because it's... Oh my god.
It's not even hentai. They don't even get naked. They just are like AI sexy girls like looking
No,
at you
there's-
while you play golf.
I had a friend who bought it and played some. There's nip nops in some of those.
There are.
Yeah, straight up.
Really?
Straight up naked boobies. Yep.
Naked boobies.
Hold up. Yeah, I'm seeing it. Yeah, no,
Yeah, you can Google
very, very
You can Google
naked.
it.
Yes, like
It's not all
Oh,
of them,
dear.
but yeah.
My brain
Yeah,
was
there's
like, for
nippy
science,
noppies.
I must look.
There's
For
no
science.
like full on
Athena.
adult content, but
Athena.
there's nippy noppies.
search it up, and I promise you, like fourth row, like right column, you're gonna see what I saw. On Google search.
See.
Some 10-year-old's buying that with his Christmas money for $2, and his parents don't know. So
Right, the
like,
fact that
parents
that's
have
like
no idea.
that's like
Okay.
Yeah, see, yep. Athena saw it.
yeah, it's too accessible.
All right then.
Yeah.
Well, that's. Won't somebody think of the children?
I know.
Come down. That can't be on the shop. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, It's not even a good Gooner game. Like it's not. it's not
Bring
even
that
quality.
one game. Like, bring some Gentai games to the Switch. Like, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, full on. Just put an M rating on it. Just be like, yeah, it's on the Switch.
Destiny Child, yeah.
Oh man. I know it felt like forever, but finally we're throwing the ball back over to Angel for any third-party support.
That's good because I've been having to think about it.
Yeah,
and
you got
two conclusions.
plenty of time to think.
I've got two conclusions. One that is definitely more like a personal choice, and one that I just kind of just realized now is something that isn't really there. So we're gonna start with the personal choice. I grew up on RPGs. I love the Tales of games a lot. Why has the Switch only ever gotten 3 remasters of older titles? Why?
Yes.
We've only gotten remasters. Why? RPGs are popular on this system. I don't get it. I understand like the 2 newest ones might be kind of chunky for it, but the Switch 2 is supposed to have better capacity, so I want to have the mainline Tales of games make it to Switch at release with the rest of the other systems. That would be really cool. I really like that. My other answer though is I think of the Switch kind of like it kind of reminds me of like the old couch co-op days where you and your friends just kind of fuck around, and like the modern games that make me feel like that are like Lethal Company and Repo and like the horror co-op games. None of those ever made it to the Switch, so I think it'd be cool to see those make it there.
Absolutely.
Because like they're silly and they're stupid, and I don't know, I correlate those exact things with the Switch a lot of the time, and I feel like just they're in the same camp. They should be on the system. So I think that'd be fun. It would mean more children get access to it, which might be frustrating if you play in public lobbies. But I mean, who plays in public lobbies on this game?
Right?
Let's be real.
True.
Yeah.
Like, who out here playing Lethal Company in a library?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So those are my answers for that. I think they fit with the system very well, and like the grand fan bases would apply to those. If the remasters sold well, the main games will sell well. Lethal Company and Repo are fantastic games that are super popular. Children would love them too. They're not really that bad. There's worse things, as you guys just said on the store anyway. So I mean, come on.
Think of the children.
Think of the children.
Exactly.
I'm waiting for Tales of Symphonia 3. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh.
Give me that game.
Tales.
Because I loved. Oh, Fantasia's so good. Oh. I love. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I want a remake of Legendia.
Ooh, that's
no one
a good
fucking
one.
knows about Legendia. Everyone slept on Legendia because I think it was just a little too early for its time.
Nah.
With the sci-fi theming they were trying to go with, people just kind of just didn't play it. But Legendia is fantastic, and most Tales of fans have not played it. I want to see them make us a new one of those. I think modern sets will be great for it.
A lot of people don't know. I'm a full-on huge Tales of fan. Like that Symphonia obviously was like my first game, but that shit was like the what do you call it? The gateway, and I just went back and played all of them. Like, oh, give me that.
A big same, big same.
Give me that. I love Tales games. That's why I'm like. I like, people say like, oh, this Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World was a bad game. I'm like, nah, you're just a hater.
Oh.
I like Dawn of the New World.
I wouldn't say it was the best title, but it was fun.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah. Like, I remember I was following that game when it was, because like in Japan it's called Knights of Ratatosk, and then it apparently was gonna be called that in America, but then in America at the last second they decided to rename it Dawn of the New World, and I'm like, man, whatever.
Yeah.
Dawn of the New World is fine. So with that being said, let's mosey on down to our last segment when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. Predictions, ideas, and hype. I'm gonna throw the ball over to Athena first on the idea of what is one thing. Now this is like the Joker's wild type thing, and you say you're a hype beast when it comes, you're a hype god when it comes to this. What is the one thing you feel where it could either apply to you or apply to the masses? What's one thing Nintendo could do in terms of like, it could be a reveal, it could be showing off something, it could be talking about something on the Nintendo Switch 2 game console, whatever. What do you think is something they could do that could break the internet or just break you specifically as an individual? You got the floor.
Break the internet. I do. We talked about it earlier. I genuinely think if Nintendo did another Smash, I think that would. I think because here's the thing. Everybody's saying like Smash, but like nobody thinks it's legit because it just seems like it's over.
No, it is legit, right? To me. To me, it's legit.
Yeah. Like I think if they came out with like, because there was some kind of magic in that one direct where it's Splatoon at the end, right?
Yeah.
And then they turn. I could still hear my boy screaming watching his stream. But like when they turn and they see the Smash logo, you know? I'm like that was nuts, right? And they showed off like, oh, it's Breath of the Wild Link. It's not even regular Link.
Yep,
you know, like
yep.
like that moment was crazy. I think if they do a new Smash game, that would not even I'm not even saying DLC at this point. Straight up new Smash game. I think you would break the internet, and because those months where we were like, oh, who's the next fighter for Smash? Like that was the reason to watch directs back in the day. It was like, who's coming to Smash, right? I think if you bring back Smash Bros, breaks the internet.
That's a really, really good answer, and it absolutely would. And I feel that like if they had that as an ender once again, like, oh, okay, Smash is back, we're back in it. And something tells me that like Sakurai has been tweeting out every now and again about like, oh, exciting, Switch 2, exciting, whatnot. And while a lot of people say like, oh, he's getting tired, he's probably gonna move on to other projects. If he decides to fill a supervisor role for the next Smash, and then this thing has been in active development under our noses for a while, I believe that a reveal wouldn't be out of the question. And then Nintendo knows it, like, hey, the hype is at the highest for any type of Nintendo system when Smash is involved in terms of the speculation, the characters, and of course playing the game. So I feel it's absolutely valid.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Nice. All right. So with that being said, let's throw the ball over to Angel. Same question. What do you think Nintendo could do at this direct that would be the internet breaking? It could be for like internet breaking for everybody, or internet breaking for you.
I got my answer already, and my answer actually comes from something mentioned during today's podcast
Okay.
that I never even considered as a possibility, but now I can't stop thinking about it.
Ooh.
When Athena said Street Pass, my world changed. If they gave us something that was like a new modern version that incentivized like going around with your Switch and whatnot, I think people would lose their minds.
Absolutely.
Like that was such a loved system. I want there to be like better graphics and a better CPU and all these, but come on, that's what everyone expects. No one's fucking expecting Street Pass. If they come out with a new Street Pass, people would shit themselves, and I want that now. I'm sorry, I can't stop thinking about it.
Nice.
Street Pass would be so good.
I need it. But like
yeah.
My thing with that is that okay. My thing with that is that like the Switch 2 is obviously bigger than the Switch, right? And then it's probably gonna cost more, like a little bit more. I hope it doesn't cost too much more. So it's like a significant investment to like carry around if people aren't comfortable like carrying around in their backpack or on their person.
I carry my Legion Go everywhere, so fuck it.
Right? But at first, like my first thought was that, okay, maybe Nintendo like either sells or packages like a peripheral that syncs up with your Switch, or like syncs up with your, like you carry in your pocket, and then when you get home, it syncs up with the Switch to like, hey,
like
these are all
chain or an item, kind of like how the other stuff works.
Yeah,
that would work good.
Then I was
like the
thinking,
Pokewalker.
Exactly.
Yeah, like the Pokewalker.
Exactly. But then I was thinking, I'm like, Nintendo always decides to do some hanky panky and a banana fuck ass bullshit where like, hey, check out how, look how whimsical our thing is, right? Look how whimsical we are, right? Imagine if Nintendo decides like, hey, by the way, if you want to do Street Pass with the Switch 2, all you gotta do is take one of your Joy-Cons and put it in your pocket as you walk around, and then put the Joy-Con back on the system. And then
that's what the
Oh my god.
I forget what the tech is called, like where it like, but
NFC?
that's they could easily, they could put that in the controller for sure.
Yeah, so I'm like,
oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So imagine if they decide to do something like that. I would be like, oh. So yes, all right, Street Pass. That's another good answer. All right, so now we're gonna throw the ball over to Fushi. What do you think in terms of internet breaking or like breaking for you that Nintendo could do for a Switch 2?
Gosh, I don't know if it's too soon, but I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but the Animal Crossing just had like its
anniversary.
It's been 5 years since we got New Horizons on the Switch. And that game was one of the most amazing and impactful games when it came out, because it was, during the pandemic. It gave people what they needed. It was amazing. and then they dropped support for it like a wet sock.
Like
And
really
they
quick.
didn't do
Yeah.
any
Mhm.
events, anything else. It was heartbreaking. I did love the Happy Home Paradise expansion very, very much. But I feel like with a game like that, like you should have more items coming out, hairstyles, just things, and they didn't. So
Yeah. They really
part of
could have done
me-
so much more with that.
they could have done
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
much, and I don't understand why they didn't. So part of me is hoping that, they do more with this series, that we get maybe another expansion upon it, or that we get another Animal Crossing that you can also be compatible with some of the items and things that you've gotten in New Horizons. I love the series so much, and I can't really defend how quickly they drop support for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It made me very, very sad. And the online not working so great also wasn't awesome for a game where playing with friends is a whole purpose of it. So I'd love to see another Animal Crossing in the future. And if Street Pass comes back, man, it would be great to see that
Yep.
working alongside.
Yeah,
an
those
Animal
could
Crossing
pair so
game.
lovely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
did that with the on the 3DS, where you could get someone's home through Street Pass and go and
Yeah.
look inside their house and buy items with Digby, Isabel's brother that I guess doesn't really exist anymore. Like I would love to see that come back.
guy.
No, the more I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it, it's really strange. Like they had to have made mega unexpected profit because of the
Yes.
pandemic. Because
Yeah.
like New Horizons was my first Animal Crossing title ever, and I know life did hard, as I
Mhm.
know a lot of people did, just because of like the situation of the world at the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which just begs the question, why? Why? Like the more
No,
I think about it,
You're
like
absolutely right, Angel. They weren't.
What?
They were
I
not
don't
anticipating
understand.
that success. They weren't.
yeah,
Which
it's
is
been
That was
5
a
years,
shock.
so like
Yeah.
there should have been a shift at this point.
It's such a they had to think about it, because it was such a perfect combination of things, as dark as it is to say,
Right.
that people needed something happy and spirited and sweet and simple.
It
like
was the
that.
perfect escape given the current
It was-
situation.
Yep.
It was absolutely perfect. And then I feel like if I had been in charge of anything at Nintendo at that time, I would have turned around and been like, look, we may have mapped this improperly. We need to look at other things to do. Because, yeah, they just ended the Animal Crossing game for mobile as well. Adding a version
They
you
did?
can buy offline.
They
Yep,
did, yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
Why?
So that's gone too. And I feel like Animal Crossing is such an important IP. Like, I don't want them to drop the ball.
It's
and just let
literally
it
become Nintendo. It's become one of Nintendo's current big four. Right. So
Yeah.
I absolutely
Yeah.
believe that Animal Crossing could like it's been 5 years, and all these other projects have been done and dusted at this point. Like, yo, Animal Crossing would definitely be something to like, oh shit, new Animal Crossing Switch 2. And then
If they announce a Switch 2 that's like an Animal Crossing new game and specialty console, I will probably
Oh.
spend money on it.
Absolutely.
100%.
yeah.
And that would just be fantastic, because like we talked about toys and merchandising and stuff earlier. I mean, you've got hundreds and hundreds of characters right there for plushies and figurines and everything else. Just give it to us, and we will buy your crap. We will buy all of it, please.
Oh yeah. I expect ramen in boxes by the end of the week.
There's such a black market for
I
that.
can't believe that
eBay
shit
was
got
lit.
like, it was crazy. And you wanna know the funniest thing? All right, so before we toss the ball over to Dahlia, the funniest thing about that is that when I was first playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, when the pandemic was going on, I was going around the islands, I was grabbing villagers and whatnot. I naturally got Raymond as my first island villager.
Ooh,
Right? So
lucky
then
duck.
I got Raymond, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's a cat, business cat, heterochromia and whatnot. He seems really cool. Raymond, all right. So I streamed the game. I stream it. My chat is going crazy when they see Raymond. It's like, you have Raymond? And I'm like, huh? Is that a big deal? Like, they're like, you, and then my chat literally broke it down for me. It's like, you have literally one of the rarest, most desired new villagers on the market. I'm like, what do you mean on the market? And then they explain the black market to me. And I'm like, huh? And then they go on and clarify, like, listen, since this guy is one of the new 4 villagers, he doesn't have any amiibo support right now, making him incredibly hard and desirable to the point where people are like selling him off. And I'm like, what? And they
Yeah.
like it was.
That was a weird time.
Yeah, it was such an eye opener when my chat was explaining it to me, and then someone in my chat was like, "Yo, I'll give you $100 for him." I'm like, "No, he's mine.
He is mine now.
Like,
Wild.
People
Like-
were super hardcore about their villagers.
They
They
were.
get super
It was so
into
intense.
it. I know.
I don't even remember the
respect
name,
it.
but I had this elephant that loved working out that was an asshole that I would beat up with my net
Oh,
every
hell
single day.
Eh,
Every single
Oh.
day.
I
don't even remember his name, but screw him.
I'm gonna find it. Elephant.
The ones you don't like will never
Jock.
leave. You're like, no, you go.
I had one of the ugly mice.
I had
Oh,
the
no.
Animal Cross, or not? Of course, it's Animal Crossing. I had the Sanrio Animal Crossing characters. So it was
Yeah,
like
I got
the
cards
villagers who.
too.
Yeah. Oh, I loved them. I was like, they're great. The only one I didn't like was the gorilla, because
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, this color scheme don't work.
I'm not
So
big
that was the
into
only one I didn't
gorilla
like.
Characters.
I
yeah.
think you're talking
Yeah.
about Axel.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Is it
Axel?
blue?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Axel. Wow, he looks
Yeah.
like a piece of. Man, get out of here! I would like.
Yeah.
Look
kick
at that
him
I like
out.
Goose.
smile. Look
My
at that
Goose was a
favorite
smile.
thing
rooster.
was to
Yeah.
wake up and beat him up.
Nice.
It became a hobby. I went through months of this. It was just morning routine, get my coffee, beat him up.
Perfect.
Oh no.
I think that's COVID psychosis.
Yeah.
I googled him and I kept scrolling down. There's some fur affinity fetish
Oh.
art
Oh,
of
God.
Axel from Animal
Stop. Why
This
would
was my
you
guy.
say that?
Deep it.
Beautiful
Oh,
chicken.
man. All right, Dahlia, what do you think in terms of like earth-shattering, internet-breaking announcements or reveals or whatever Nintendo could do with Nintendo Switch 2, either for you or the internet? What are your thoughts?
I think it will probably, if it did actually come out, that those ideas for that concept video that somebody made for like the support through the USB-C port that's being used for power,
Ooh.
if you actually
Yeah.
create third-party or like even just Nintendo fully supported additional hardware to add in through that slot, that will be the game changer, I think, to be
Oh,
able
yeah.
to, because that will open up for other companies to be like, hey, we can make this extra like little add-on for your Switch and things like that. It's just going to open up so many possibilities if that were to be the case. I can only imagine some Nintendo intern saw that video and went, write that down.
Oh, man.
That would break everyone. Or like specifically the one where they literally like showed, like how Fushi brought up earlier, where it flipped over the Switch and added a secondary screen, and that's gonna be how you play DS games. I would lose my
Ooh.
mind.
I would throw so much
I would
money at
love
that, like, easy.
So much
Oh
money.
yeah.
It'd be sold out. People would be scalping it. It would be a mess.
Don't even
But
say
I would
that.
still
You
Oh.
want
can't
it.
get the games anymore. Yeah, so many
I-
of them.
I would want it. I don't know how we would play. Like, I don't know how they figure out the power situation, but I want it.
Make a deluxe version that comes with it already, like, in the box. Like,
Yeah.
please. I would invest
13
in that.
AA batteries. I'll do it.
Oh,
13?
too many.
1D battery just attached to the back.
There you go.
Like,
There you go.
massive.
Just
Like,
like
the Game Boy Color, like light and stuff.
duct
Oh
tape
my
it to the back.
god. Duct tape.
The magnifier.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So to wrap up the session, in terms of what I think will be earth-shattering, if they decide, like, it's funny because we talked about games so much and whatnot, and this is how we're gonna end off the stream, is that in my opinion, the earth-shattering thing that they would announce is if they decide to reveal the fact that they're selling the thing for $400. That,
Yes.
in my opinion,
Yeah.
would be like, okay, yeah, got it. Because we were thinking like 450, 500. I'm like, listen, Nintendo would absolutely be the company to sell this thing at either a small profit or even a small loss if that means they have a gorilla grip on your wallet for the next 8 years. Right?
Yep.
So absolutely. And then also that in Kingdom Hearts, like native Kingdom Hearts ports, there. Like
Stop. I can't. I don't even like. Don't
No,
make
I believe.
Don't give me hope.
I believe. And there's the end to the stream. I believe because I want to believe that they're waiting, they're saving, and they're gonna announce Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind with the Remind DLC on the cart on Nintendo Switch 2. And then to coincide that, they're gonna release PS5 or Xbox Series SX upgrades to Kingdom Hearts 3 that you can download for free if you have the game, to wait for that. That's what I think they're waiting for. So that.
Oh my god.
Let's go. So with that being said, me too. Oh my goodness. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the end of today's episode of The Fifth Dimension, and I hope you had an amazing time. We did it. Now, before we toss all of y'all to the wind, let's go around the room one more time to let these amazing VTubers let you know where you can find them. So we're gonna start off with Angel. Angel Steps, let them know where they can find you.
Hi. So you can find me on twitch.tv/Angel Steps or on YouTube under Angel Steps ASMR. I do a variety of stuff. I love to do Pokemon Nuzlocke. Pokemon's kind of my thing. So if you like Pokemon, I'm your girl. And tomorrow I have a 3D model debut, and I hope to see you guys there for that.
You better go. Everyone go. You better. You know we stay seated. It's gonna be good. Oh my goodness. Angel, thank you so much for being here, homie. I appreciate
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Hope to see you again. And now,
Absolutely.
oh, you heard it. She said it, guys. All right, easy, locked in. So, with that being said, Athena Mythos, homie, let them know where they can find you.
Hello, everybody. It is I, Palace Athena, and you can find me here on Twitch at Athena Mythos. You can find me on YouTube, also Athena Mythos. And yeah, I do lots of silly stuff. I'm mainly Nintendo focused, but I do some other stuff on the side as well. So yeah, you'll probably hear me screaming about Kingdom Hearts 4 if it ever happens.
It will.
Oh.
Don't worry. Come on, like you're also a Nintendo fan. As Zelda fans, we've been through this.
We've been through this
We've
pain.
been through this. It's fine.
Yeah,
We'll get through it. But yo, thank you so much for being here, homie. I appreciate you.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Oh my goodness. And now we're up to Dahlia. Let them know where they can find you.
Hey, Dominions. I'm actually not currently streaming a ton on Twitch right now, so I would highly recommend you actually check me out on YouTube instead. Damn Dahlia on all platforms if you could. And yeah, you'll be expecting some music and maybe some streams here and there, but yeah, a lot of music, hopefully.
Amazing singer. Go check her out.
Oh,
Stop!
yes.
Can't vouch enough. Amazing singer.
Ma'am.
Like I literally,
I have to.
I put your music on you. I have YouTube Red like for free, and I literally put your music up when I'm doing my like morning routines and stuff.
I had no idea how amazing you were, and then on Vocal Pyre, I heard your voice, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like jaw to the floor dropped. Like
Watching Fifi's eyes just go bug-eyed, like, wait a minute.
right?
Oh my god.
You love
That
to
is
see
probably
it.
the highlight.
Oh my goodness. But yo, Dahlia, homie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course. And then last but not least, Miss Fushi. Oh, Fushi, let them know where they can find you.
Hello, my name is Miss Bushy and I'm a mushroom elf. I primarily stream retro games on YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. And I have a lovely community of Fushrooms who I love with all my heart. I wouldn't say my streams are say-so, but maybe they're a little PG-13 or so. I'm known for saying things out of pocket and a little bit of scuff, but I love streaming. We just beat Banjo-Tooie for the first time and are playing Terraria, Skyrim, about to start the first Wario Land, and am finishing Outer Wilds. So yeah, I play a lot of video games.
Yeah, so you better go check her out. I was watching that Banjo-Tooie the whole time. I'm like, yes. Like, Banjo.
I 100%ed it.
You love to see it. It's not the same beast as like 100%ing Donkey Kong 64 because like never again.
God, I've heard.
It's bad.
Ooh.
Don't do it, you guys.
Don't do that.
It sounds like pain.
It is.
Sounds like a
Sorry.
subathon reward.
That does sound like a
God.
subathon
Oh my
report.
God.
You heard it here first, folks. Oh my goodness.
You can eat paint chips or beat 100%.
No, fuck that. Ew. Oh my god.
I think the paint chips was gonna be easier.
Oh man.
Lead.
So Foosh, thank you so much for being here, homie. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness. And then, as you all know, is your boy HMK Killer Kun. I am your host of the Fifth Dimension. I hope you guys had an amazing time. Please join us for the final episode before the storm that is the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct, which is happening on April 2nd. The next Friday is going to be part 4 of this series, in which you just watched part 3. So always know, until the next stream, this has been your boy HMK Killer Kun, and remember to dive deep, be brave, and enter the 5th dimension. Until then, I will check you guys later.